Hello. Hello, everybody. Sorry that we're late. It's because it's really, really damn hot. Spoon and I, well, Spoon, it's cold where he is because he's in South Africa, but here in the UK, as I'm sure, well, you know, British Isles, it's very hot.
So you want to try and seed more of my people's fucking land loss? You're at it.
Nobody knows where Guernsey
true
is.
carpetbagger behaviour here,
Nobody knows
folks.
what Guernsey is. So
Better than you. That's all you need to know.
Okay. So also, by the way, I've been on camera recently. We're not streaming on Rumble and Kick because I took a nap this afternoon, and then I had to call my mother and talk to her for a while. No offense, Mom, but we had a nice conversation. We talk about planning stuff. Stream stuff just got away from me, so I still don't have it set up on Rumble and Kick because I went and did the same thing I did last week, where I just set it up on YouTube and forgot to set it up on Rumble and Kick. Because once you set it up on YouTube, you can't go the other way around. Anywho, I'm also probably not going to be on camera the whole time because it's really, really hot. Look, it wouldn't be so bad if there had been a couple of days to kind of like acclimate to this level of heat, but no.
No, fuck you, I don't want more of this bullshit. I want less of it. Fuck you. Ice Age now.
No, but you know what I mean. It was like just 4 or 5 days ago, I was wearing long sleeve shirts. Now I've got on like a tank top and I'm still boiling. Also, my apologies if you hear my fan. It needs to go now. So I thought we would start by talking about the heat wave, but because I've got a bone to pick with some Americans about some very specific things. About my fellow Americans' lack of understanding, and it's okay. You're not like supposed to, you don't have to know these things. But before you start talking shit, it might behoove you to know them. Regarding the temperature and humidity of the British Isles. And also things like AC. And I think it speaks to a larger statement about cultural differences that I think actually the US and Americans should probably consider adopting, because I think they're overwhelmingly more positive than negative ones. But they are also explained not just by Europores being Europoor, which is kind of the main thing I've seen a lot of Americans say, is Europeans are just too poor to afford AC units as kind of like an own. Though it's, and then of course it's weak for you to complain about how hot it is. I'm going to explain why I think it might be the other way around. Look, I want to complain about the heat. It's too damn hot outside, okay? It's hot. Whatever the weather. I swear to God, there won't be many times that we talk about weather, but this is a freak, if you're unaware, freak level of heat for this time of year. And again, 4 days ago, 5 days ago, the last time I was on stream on Sunday, I think I had on like a little bit more stuff, and like just last week when we were on stream, I had on like a long sleeve shirt, a button up. Not doing that today.
Okay, calm down, American and Psycho. We don't need to know your fucking like wardrobe choices and how it alters that, man.
Well, I was just illustrating. Is my fan noise through the noise gate? I'll turn it down.
I can't hear anything.
You can't? Okay. It's very hot. I'll turn my fan down a little bit. Also, another reason why I wanted to stream a little later today is because, again, it's so damn hot. I wanted to wait till the sun started to at least go down a bit.
Yes, it was definitely a decision.
It was totally a decision, and not because I took a nap and then talked to my mom. But anyway, TJ France for 5 says, Ave Crown Crew, Aiden, don't be a carpetbagger that shames your southern ancestors. Have a blessed stream when Bill gets the sword. Post it in Discord. Absolutely will. I'm not shaming. I'm not shaming. It's because it's not
when
my
I get
ancestors.
the sword, I will be aiming to beat the world record for cutting watermelons in 10 seconds. I believe the world record is 10 watermelons in 9.34 seconds.
Well, I'd be happy for you to do that, because then I'd get 10 watermelons to make into all kinds of things. I love watermelons. See, there's my southern heritage. I will put salt on them as well if I have any little bits just on their own.
Well, you'd have to move the tequila out. You'd have to move the tequila out of the way, wouldn't you?
Boo. Boo.
Spoon, salt on watermelon is delicious.
Boo.
Look, and I know, growing
Boo.
up in Baltimore in particular and in
Boo.
the South, how hot it can get in the U.S. In terms of temperature, yeah, it being 29 degrees Celsius, which the easy way to do that conversion is, let's say it's 30, for example, multiply it by 2, so you have 60, and add 30, that would be 90 degrees.
Putting
30
salt
Celsius is
on
90 degrees
watermelon is a
Fahrenheit.
crime and you should be punished.
You just don't have taste. I mean,
Neither do you. You eat watermelon with salt on it, for fuck's sake. And
I-
cucumbers with vinegar on.
I do eat cucumbers with vinegar. Speaking of
Okay,
Baltimore, I
can
was just
sort of,
talking about
that
Utz
I can
potato
sort of
chips today.
understand.
Yeah.
Cucumbers are gay and homeless.
But
They are the most homosexual fruit.
Yeah, that's
Bill,
yeah.
That's really saying something considering all the fruits.
cucumbers give Bill a tummy ache, is what it is.
It gives me no. I get horrific indigestion from specifically
tummy ache.
if I eat
That's what I said.
English variety cucumbers with the skin, the taste will repeat on me for the rest of the day.
It.
Which I don't appreciate.
By the way,
I'm not going to respec my diet to be able to eat bullshit water fruit when I can just keep being, able to consume massive quantities of lactose to dab on the browns.
Bill, I do think it's English cucumbers. Because English cucumbers give me a little bit of like.
It's most likely the fucking pesticide the things are all but dipped in.
They also give me a little bit of indigestion in a way that American cucumbers don't. Yeah, we're like burps of the cucumber all day.
I don't care for the flavor. The flavor's all right, but I don't care for the aftertaste or the fucking repeating flavor.
It is just a vinegar and salt delivery system.
This is such fucking like padding.
Eating,
Like,
eating to dab on
Let's
the
talk about
browns.
how.
I cannot give shit to Toad Who Wants to Be a Kamen Rider's filler arcs
Then
and
let's
then
talk
have
about how.
the cucumber arc.
Then let's talk about how it's bloody hot in it.
I'm dead.
Okay, it really fucking is. But it's not, again, I think the hottest it got today was 28. So 28 times 2. Don't ask me to do math on the spot. I can't. I've discalculated. That's my
It's
excuse.
fucking hot.
It's fucking hot. It's 88. I think it's 88 or something like
28
that.
degrees?
In terms of Fahrenheit. Yeah. However,
28 degrees is like a nice day.
yes. However,
it's 35 here.
It is not about the temperature alone. It is the humidity, and it is the way that the houses are built. And here are a bunch of Americans living in the UK who have been humbled, according to the Daily Mail. Absolutely, always a sure source of information, as they brave British heatwave without air conditioning, fleeing stuffy flats for hotel rooms and buying bags of ice.
Oh my goodness, it's 28 degrees. It's so freaking warm. That just tells me you Yanks are a bunch of freaking pussies. You can't even handle 28 degrees without screaming for an air conditioning.
It's very hot, Spoon.
Grow a pair of balls, you sad sack shithead.
I would
Yes,
say
I
that
don't care if it mocks
we're
Americans.
probably
Balls,
a
balls.
behoove folk abroad who are giving the bong shit to consider that the bongs, conquered all of India casually.
That's true. They did
and
do
held
that.
it.
Yes.
Basically, all but flawlessly
It's-
for like hundreds of
It
years.
is the type of heat. It's the fact that today it is 88% humidity here. Okay. So
Yeah, that's
Americans who
quite
are
hot.
used to handling 35 degrees Celsius, again, multiplied by 2 plus 30, stuck back in the US have been left humbled by UK's suffocating heat wave. And it has been record-breaking heat, like the last 3 days, every single day.
Hottest bank holiday on record.
Yes, on record. It's because of the time of year. If we had had a couple weeks to run up to it, it might not have been
I'm
so
not doing
bad.
apologia for this heat. You can fuck off.
I can't do anything.
Fuck
about
off
the
back
sun.
to whatever fucking dog shit third world country normally has this weather, and take your people with you.
Okay, I'll leave then.
Okay,
Fine.
don't fucking try and call my bluff on immigration. I'll deport you in a second. Don't fucking hold the line.
A tired retro gamer in Baltimore, it regularly gets well over 100, up to 110, and I lived through that every summer. Used to go
The
to
crime rate.
I used to go to the conventions in the summer. I mean, I'm used to American heat. Like, it being pretty hot. It gets over 100 in West Virginia sometimes, or rather frequently, at least a couple times a year too. So I'm not unused to it. It is the quality of the heat. Let's see. Left humbled, yes. Yanks living or visiting across the pond have also been forced to seek refuge in air-conditioned hotel rooms, admitting they simply can't do it anymore. I'm about to pass out. One said in a TikTok video, at least in Florida, we have AC. Sweating everywhere. I literally just wear a swimsuit at home. There's nothing I can wear. Comparing Britain to the Sahara Desert. Others also admitted that that heat has left them feeling like a shirt getting ironed. Hang on, I'm going to turn you up a little bit, Spoon, because I'm having a hard time hearing you.
I'm surprised most of them know what that is.
What, an iron?
An iron?
When's the last time any of those cunts actually saw one?
I mean, Spoon.
Sorry.
feel like I'm in a sauna. Floridian admitted that the temperatures were making her. A Floridian admitted the temperatures were making her feel sick. TikToker Shay said she couldn't hack the heat in her flat, which reached 31 degrees Celsius. I haven't slept since it got hot, she recounted. I started to literally go insane. In the end, she sought the refuge of a hotel at a social media creator Stacey in the UK called on more Brits to invest in ACs, adding, I'm so hot, there's no airflow, I'm suffering, the fans are not cutting it. Okay, issue number one, let me explain the air conditioning thing.
How hard is the heat diddling you that you leave your house for a hotel?
I mean, pretty fucking bad if you have to, I mean, yeah, I would imagine so. I must not have been living here long. It does get like this a little bit every summer. It's bad this year, but it does happen every year. Number one, why can the Europores not go to Walmart and buy a window AC unit? Let me explain to my fellow Americans as a trader, okay? You know
Brace yourself, you're in for a filler arc.
You know how in the US, how you open the window usually by pushing it up? That's not how windows over here work. You like twist the knob on it and either slide it open or tilt it open. You can't put a window AC unit in that. Also, I'm pretty sure the EU has laws against those as well, but I mean, UK's not in the EU.
They don't follow like the energy grading system properly. They probably, good luck getting one that will actually fit using British plugs.
And that will use British plugs, and that is compliant to whatever kind of, I don't even know what. Look, that's going to be difficult in the first place, is getting one that is compliant, getting one that will fit. Already, like, I actually just saw someone say, why don't you just take the window out of its, just take the window off. It's like, what? And then board the window back up?
The window, which is, by necessity of its design, you know, a proprietary, professional fitting job.
Yes, a professionally fitted window, so then enjoy your very cold winters where your window doesn't fit anymore.
See, that wouldn't bother me.
Well,
you would die.
Yeah, I would die in the cold winters, which again, the houses are built to withstand cold winters. And the other thing about
much like white people, unlike you.
The other thing that's related to this is that it gets this way.
You're on a rampage today.
I know.
I'm sober. I'm not in a good mood about it.
Well, then ameliorate that.
No.
Two, so yeah, that would be expensive. You have to take out your whole window to try to put in one of these cheap units, which I don't even think are available, honestly. Two, you have the ground units. Like, I don't know, Bill, have you seen those split systems like the one they have in Japan, the ones they have in Japan? I know that they've recently come to the US, but I haven't seen them, and I even looked it up to see if they do those here in Guernsey, and
ones are mounted onto like the wall below
the
window
splits.
normally.
They're called like split units, split AC units. I don't think they do those here either.
Look it up.
Yeah, that's like the ones they have in Japan where it's the long sort of box thing.
Oh yeah, I do see those from time to time, but primarily in offices. They are they are workplace fittings. I've never seen someone actually have like an exterior mounting. Like
well, they have those in Japan, for instance.
But I'd like to point out, getting a HVAC person is more or less impossible in a non-commercial environment.
Yeah. I'll show you what I mean by the standing units, right?
Also, the electricity necessary to run these when most electricity companies, depending on the region,
talk about the price.
Government-mandated monopolies in some cases.
The price is expensive. These standing units, which I'll show you a picture of here.
Can't get engineers, you can't get parts, you can't get anyone to fit the fucking thing. You can't. It's expensive as shit to run because it's not energy efficient. You're gonna have to actually try and find a specialist who will fit it. You have to try and find the unit that'll be actually run with the electricity we have over here.
And the other thing is too. So this is an example. Actually, this is a good picture to explain. Also, the tilted windows. This picture works very well. All right, so this is your other option.
That's an egregious example.
Which is an egregious example, but that is
That's an abomination.
A type of AC unit that you can also buy, the standing units. I would say I didn't know how much the price of these had gone up in the US, but I was speaking to my earring just fell off. I was speaking to my mother today, and she said that they cost about $100 now. When I was in college, those window AC units at Walmart cost like $50. But these, in comparison, cost 250, 300 pounds. So they're also quite expensive.
It's too late to get the cheaper one.
Yeah, you can't get it now because they're all sold out. And then 3, you're going to use this 2 weeks out of a year. So there's the energy cost, there's the cost of the device itself, there's the fact that you're not going to use it. But I want to move on to the most.
And the time it takes you to use it again, the filter will be clogged by ambient dust.
But I want to move on to Indeed. And I want to move on to the most important reason.
This is the one that I have.
What are you at? Let me see.
Hold on, if I can get this.
Well, he finds that. I'll explain.
Why is this?
I think I'll explain this. It is a social norm to complain about the weather. It is a social norm everywhere to complain about the weather, by the way. Everybody does.
It's one of the few things that's acceptable to complain about in England.
Yes. To complain, and particularly in the UK, it is part of the culture essentially to just complain about the weather. So, if you do buy one of these things, then you have removed yourself, you have atomized yourself from society. Because the one thing that you have in common with all of your neighbors, you have now removed. Two, as to the stop bitching about it and be a man, which you really mean is be a consumer and go spend a bunch of money on this, you're complaining, therefore you're weak. Look, although I'm going to complain about it, I still am going to sit here in this heat rather than go and atomize myself from society more than I already am, and not being able to deal with a little bit of hot. I'm going to complain about it, but I'm going to deal with it. I think that is that's
alienate yourself from society. You're like Drake with the fucking boiler suit on at that Ferrari meet.
Look,
bro thinks he's on the team.
But it is. I know.
Oh, I got one similar to that.
However, it is synonymous though with the keep calm and carry on kind of mindset, right? That Americans don't have to the same sort of degree. Is it? I'm gonna sit here and not like it because I'm never gonna be happy about anything, as is the custom. So I am gonna complain about it.
Yeah.
But I'm also, it's just a little bit of complaining. I'm gonna deal with it.
We're in the misery business.
Yes, and we're gonna sit here in misery and deal with it, and that is why Brits won't get ACs. I hope I have explained the British air conditioning conundrum from the perspective of a foreigner.
AC this, AC that. What, you working for House Davion now?
Bad luck, I'd have no luck.
But look, we are suffering. The Americans who are stuck here, and this is their first time, I'm guessing, are not having a good one. Look, there's a black lady feeling extremely humbled as a Floridian. So she wasn't just a Floridian; she's a black Floridian. Experienced the 30 degrees Celsius.
Black and be in the UK and complain about the weather like that to me is mind-boggling.
Yeah, it's hot.
Bro, with the two fisting the 1.8 kilo Eskimo brand ice cubes.
Temperatures of the country reached nearly
So those
35.
are the pallet work.
Fuck.
I will say
That's
for
awful.
May that is unusually warm.
Let's see, we've got a scientist here to explain it. He told the Daily Mail in drier climates
I don't
want to
talk to a
South Asia.
scientist.
Yeah, true. Fucking magnets, how do they work?
It's
Even
hot,
at similar
fuck off.
higher temperatures, low humidity allows sweat to evaporate more easily, improving natural cooling. Unlike the UK, other countries have have measures in place to beat the heat, including air conditioning. Professor Cloak said, "Our homes are designed like thermal flasks to keep warmth in during winter, not release it during summer. Many buildings trap heat overnight, and because air conditioning is still relatively uncommon, and I just explained why, there is very little relief indoors." Cities are
I would remind
jungles,
you that routinely in the wintertime, people do freeze to death in years of when the fuel allowance is low.
Well, it was a bizarre thing that I had a couple of Americans say to me they don't, even though I now have an American flag in my, description on Twitter, they still, particularly when I tweet about stuff like this, they still think that I'm not American, I guess. I don't know. So I got a lot of, more than one, more than two, it's like several comments that said, I couldn't believe it. They trotted out the COVID thing. It's like, oh, so I guess you want your nan to die, huh? That's what you won't buy. You're poor, won't buy an AC. Fuck. First of all my grandparents are dead.
Yeah, I'll say, Gam. Let me get the Ouija board out. Let me find out what your opinion on the weather is. It's awfully hot. Yeah, it will be where you are.
What an insane thing to say in general. And then it wasn't just one or two people. It was like multiple people who basically accused me of killing my grandparents for being like, oh, it's a bit hot, isn't it? Like, fucking, what the shit? And particularly at a post where I was just explaining why we don't have window AC units here, as I just did.
I hate this because there's always some fucking twat going, oh, this is about climate change. Motherfucker, the UK used to have really, really high heat waves prior. I mean, they used to grow wine, for God's sakes. So no, this is not climate change. This is cyclical. This is well before the industrialization of England. So it isn't any of this
Staying home, let's bring back the Ice Age.
Indeed. I could use her bringing back the Ice Age right now.
I want it to be nice and cold, and I want to sit at my window and watch all the minorities freeze.
Oh my god.
And my heart will warm me through the whole time.
Anyway, there's the thing. It just feels lower temperatures feel hotter here because of the humidity, because of the houses.
Well, I go for a blast freezer at work with just with like a t-shirt and shorts.
So good right now.
And yeah, I can tell you this much: there was an odd moment at work. Myself and a coworker just entered into the freezers to get an item, and there was just a moment where both of us just doubled over with fucking relief. Just from the shit, like, oh, thank fuck, we're out of that nightmare.
I just noticed my stuff's running slowly, and I think that's probably because I got so many things open. Which I'm.
That's what we really need, is to heat the top of the house.
Yeah, well, I think I needed it. The computer is already hot, so I'm gonna try to close some stuff because I noticed my camera is really lagging. So let me, and which it might be because of the heat. To be honest, that certainly isn't helping. I'm sure.
The AI I've been teaching to run D&D for me, apparently, I think the data center it runs from might have like cooked itself because it's just ceased to work for 6 hours.
Oh, that's not gonna work. All right, give me a second. I gotta restart it. However, I do have something funny here while I deal with that for a minute. While I try to get that turned back on. Okay, so this is quite funny because the Conservatives tweeted this out. I've got more UK news, but I'll leave it till the end. However, this is related to the heat wave, and it's very funny. So the Conservatives tweet this out. It's way too hot out there. The next Conservative government will release the aircon ban by the aircon ban created by Robert Jenrick, which blocks new homes from being built with air conditioning. So
we have committed to the Future Homes Standard, which means that no new home will be built in this country from 2025 unless it has the highest levels of energy efficiency and low or zero carbon heating.
The climate emergency is real and we need to tackle it.
Okay. Here's the problem with this. They're like, that Robert Jenrick. You know, we the Conservatives are going to go after him, presumably some filthy Tory or some. I gave it away. Some filthy.
We have eyeballs. We can see the community now, dickhead.
Yeah. Okay. What's community noted is that when Robert Jenrick created this, he was part of the Conservatives. So what are
they all whinging about? They've all joined Reform anyway.
Unfortunately, well. Restore Britain will ban the sun. I hope so. I hope so.
Why stop at that? Daily Mail can go to.
Let's go.
I followed a star. The Daily Star. And it says you're a nonce.
Oh my god, nice. That's so good. Alright, speaking of nonces, I mean, allegedly, I don't know, just presumably.
We have no
ostensibly,
liability laws over here.
Some people are telling me, many people are saying that Hasan Piker may have visited a brothel where there were underage children working. Speaking of nonsense, allegedly, ostensibly, maybe, perhaps, you know, in Minecraft.
Did he?
He did visit a brothel in Germany where.
I mean, if you've seen his mustache, we know pedophile.
It was a brothel in Germany that. Sometime after Hasan had visited, they were busted for having underage prostitutes. I almost said prostitute. Underage prostitutes working in that brothel.
Different locale.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a different one.
See, I don't see him as a sexual person in any way.
No, I don't find him that way either, but he's apparently like a heartthrob for, I don't know, tens
for people who need to take angina medicine on a regular basis.
Well, I think it's probably a lot of older women, but it's a lot of young women too who seem to think he's super dreamy, which, oh my god, I mean, what?
Why?
Look, I might not have the most typical tastes, but bruh, no thank you. Like, for so many reasons, no thank you. What'd you say?
He's also really, really stupid.
Oh, yes, he is really,
He's got a tiny head and tiny feet.
Indeed,
and a weird
petite feet.
Like Dorito torso, but with no muscle mass of any actual, you know.
He's got petite feet. His head is small.
And he's on drugs.
Well, he's clearly on roids, yeah.
Okay, you know the meme comic of, like, where do you work out? The library? Not the guy with the giant skull, the other guy. He looks like that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's hot. Okay.
If you're that fucking tough, Hasan, just fight. I'll tell you what, I would be happy if they will just waive all charges against Hasan, but you need to get in the ring against Sam.
Hasan Piker!
I don't think Hasan is actually
finally
gay.
The Candyman.
After that fight, you might be.
That was Sam Hyde's name, right? Candyman.
Candyman. I think the Candyman.
It was a different character.
Retired.
Was it? What was the name of the
You
Irish
might fight him
character?
as Gold Striker, to be honest. But
Okay,
the Candyman
yeah.
was very anti-Hasan.
So finally, the Candyman, Sam Hyde himself, has come for Hasan Piker. He has been subpoenaed, along with Medea Benjamin, over their recent trip to Cuba. I think we covered it a little bit. They went to Cuba, they stayed in a really fancy hotel that just so happened to coincide with massive blackouts and brownouts all over Cuba. So, and there was something that came from that I didn't see before today. Let me go find
and brownouts all over the island. It's despicable. They should have apartheid by now, surely.
You'd think so. But I didn't know about this until today, but let me see if I can find it real quick. Because I did see it in another video and I forgot to bring it up. Apparently as part of that trip, Hasan, like, danced around, made people dance in the street. He danced as well, for cookies. The impoverished people of Cuba. This rich bastard did that. Now, let me see if I can find the video. Piker Cookies, Cuba. I think they were cookies. It's really weird. He's just in the street, like, making people dance for something. Well, why is that taking a minute? I don't know. I saw this earlier today.
Well, the trick is that once the local youngsters have been dancing around, for the cookies, they don't have as much energy to run away from Hasan.
It was in Barion's videos where I saw it. So hang on, let me just go find Barion's video because I know it's in there. Hang on. And obviously, Barion's a cool guy. Here we go. It should be this. Man, I'm having problems with my internet again. It's just, I think it's, I don't know what it is. I think it's actually like a...
For those of you who don't know, the heat
problem.
is going to take the blame for literally everything.
No, I think this is a problem with my browser. I've been having it for a few days. Let's see if he has the thing where he's like dancing around the street with these cookies. It's really fucking weird. I'd never seen this before this video. Yeah, here.
Got him for 91,000 per cookie. Because remember, he was dangling cookies above like poor street kids in Cuba and making them dance.
I do know if it's actually Hasan.
Yeah, what a fuckhead.
Or if it's just Barion fucking around. But I would believe it's Hasan. Anyway, he took this trip to Cuba. Was it earlier this year or late last year? I think it was earlier this year. And he stayed in a very nice hotel where the rest of the country was in a brownout blackout. And
August of 2025.
What was it? Was it in 2025? Was it last year? I'm gonna have to turn.
No, it's at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. Scroll down.
1 second. I'm just gonna have to turn you guys like way up. Okay, sorry.
Scroll down.
Sorry. Oh,
there.
I don't think this is.
Hasan
this when you
know.
I don't know if it's related.
While we wait for Fox News to find mode.
Whatever. Federal officials.
How is socialism?
I think it's just a random video. Federal officials have served subpoenas to Marxist political influencer Hasan Piker and Code Pink founder, and the Code Pink thing is going to come back, Susan Medea Benjamin, as part of a wider investigation into whether U.S. organizations... By the way, this woman is fucked looking. I'm sorry, I keep getting distracted.
How clap we talking?
Prepare yourself.
Bad physiognomy or...
Fuck me dead. That is a rough one.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
This one. I mean, that's a painting, I think. But this woman is... Everything is going so
How's she looking like Carl Pilkington tuned out?
Dude. Yeah. Well, when I saw her last name was Benjamin, no offense
She looks
to Carl,
like a literal GTA NPC.
Yeah. When I saw her last name was Benjamin,
yeah, GTA 2.
I did have to Wikipedia early life just to be like, it would be really funny if the other woman was Jewish. But she's not. Anyway, as far as I can tell. Although, then I saw a picture of her and went, whoa. That is a look. That is a distinct set of features.
I'd say it's several distinct sets of features, with a section taken from each one and kind of smattered over her face nonchalantly.
As part of a wider investigation into whether U.S. organizations and leaders violated U.S. law and sanctions in supporting Cuba's communist regime, Fox News Digital has learned. Now, whether or not they did, I don't know. But Hasan has said so much incriminating shit at this point, has snitched on all of his possible collaborators. I don't really know what's going on. I would say overwhelmingly, though. And this is what I want to get your guys' opinion on more than anything as we get into this subject matter. One, do you think anything is going to happen to Hasan? Because I don't think anything serious is going to happen to him.
No, I think Hasan is a giant distraction, basically.
Yes. I agree. The other reason, and the other reason why I don't think anything serious will happen to Hasan, besides the fact that he's a giant distraction,
He's a clown.
is the type of distraction he is. Hasan, pretty much, like, if you could pick one person though, who is emblematic, who personifies the whole idea that people who are critical of Israel are terrible, evil, stinky commies, right? Anyone who criticizes Israel, well, I know someone who criticizes Israel, Hasan Piker, and he shocks his dog, and he's a stinky, smelly commie. So therefore,
it's not as far.
The transitive property, you are also a stinky commie if you have things negative to say about Israel. And I got a lot tonight, by the way.
If he went to clink over it at a time when they're trying to ramp up their acceleration more than ever, I think that they might just think, well, we're not going to get any more use out of him.
That's why I don't entirely count it out as a possibility. AKA Batosai, welcome to Night Tier. Thank you so much, friend. And thank you guys all so much for hanging out with us. I'm a little bit hyper because of this heat, man. It's got me.
Or American Convoy, a global network of communist sympathizers, activists, and influencers who brought supplies to the country's ruling Communist Party of Cuba, according to sources familiar with the matter.
Yeah. So, because of the U.S. sanctions, there's laws against financing, coordinating delivery of goods. You can only stay in certain hotels. There's all kinds of restrictions on what Americans can do, buy, and bring back and bring to Cuba. There's tons of them. And as it turns out, Hasan himself has admitted, as we'll see here in a minute, that he has indirect ties to the Cuban government. And that he also, a lot of this stuff was financed by this elite network of this centibillionaire. Just one guy who's paying for it.
Camera.
I think he's trying to snake
really
everyone.
Stupid.
I think he's trying to snake everyone to save his own skin. I mean, that potentially could be it. It could also be that, they just wanted. Maybe I don't think it will.
Maybe he's just dumb.
He is.
I think it's because he's retarded.
He is dumb. Maybe it is that he thought he could snake people, but Hasan, if anyone is going down, it's not going to be the centibillionaire who funded your operations. He's going to keep funding this shit forever. It's going to be you. I don't think he's going to go down, but if anyone is, it's Hasan Piker before the nigh billionaire who's funding one of the nigh billionaires who's directly funding this Code Pink and Hasan Piker and all that stuff, all these people who went to Cuba. Because we'll get to that in a minute where Hasan talks about just how much that particular guy finances all of this.
It is quite sketchy to me
far left
that America...
internet stuff.
It is quite sketchy to me that America tries to embargo and basically slap these people with sanctions. If you think communism is so shit, then why don't you just let the people die out anyway, just naturally? You don't need embargoes or sanctions. If the ideology is shit and it doesn't work, just let them run the experiment and die. And once they're all dead, you can just take over.
Yeah. Instead,
what are the sanctions for?
Instead, the U.S. has been, for months now, floating the idea of invading Cuba. By the way, just today, before we started the stream, Trump was giving some sort of speech talking about the current situation with Iran. And in that speech, he confused Iran with Venezuela.
Let's be fair. I think times are tough out in Israel. They lost one island. They just want Cuba to replace.
Right.
Little St. John.
Well, that's what they're. I mean, that they're already going to do that with Venezuela, but it's not an island. You're right. They need a replacement for Little St. John, don't you? Let's see.
Israel be like, we ain't Bosnia. We want a coast.
Yeah. The administrative subpoenas, or RFIs, requests for information, are financial, logistical, and communication information involving around tips the two widely bragged about making to the island nation in March with delegations of the Nuestra America Convoy, or Our America Convoy, from a global network of communist sympathizers. Yeah, we read this, sorry. It was hard for me to hear you, Spoon. I got you turned all the way up now, but I was still having a hard time.
Why?
It's better now.
Sound cancelling might be freaking out.
Maybe. The investigation is part of a broader effort by officials at the Treasury, State, and Justice Departments to curb malign foreign influence operations inside the United States. By the way, there's no way this happened in the first place without the U.S. government knowing about it. It was allowed to happen. I do think that this is all performative. It's theater. It's to, look, Trump is not very popular right now. His approval rating's been in the gutter over this Iran stuff, which he cannot come to a deal on it. Israel won't let him. He just can't. Ben-Gvir said straight up, no, Trump, you can't make a deal with Iran. What are you doing? You can't do anything. No. It's not up to you. So, Trump needs any wins he can get anywhere. And it is at the point where a win A win for a president of the United States would be to fuck with a Twitch streamer. It would at least be some red meat for the base. And that's what I think most of this is.
Really?
For a base that is starving, yes, it's red meat. It absolutely is. Just like Venezuela was.
I think they could lose some.
I mean, it is spam, but it's still meat.
Spam's pretty good. I'm not gonna.
No, that's just the fucking like £5 price tag gaslighting you.
I like some spam sometimes.
I enjoy spam more than most do, but I'm not gonna sit out here and front
for such a little bit of it. Yeah, it is pricey. Let's see. Foreign influence, according to Fox's digital investigation. So that we'll get into this actually, but this guy.
I'm a man of the people. I eat bacon grill.
So
Singham has pumped $278 million into nonprofit groups that has pushed pro-China, pro-Cuba, anti-U.S. narratives in street protests for almost a decade since his marriage in February of 2017 to Pink co-founder Jody Evans, who is also being investigated for her role in the botch strip. Pink has received $1.33 million from Singham after he married Evans.
Yep.
I have no idea who that's supposed to be,
that
by
much
the
money. 1.33 million is really not that much for these.
That's his wife.
Not Hasan's. That's the rich guy's wife, Singham.
I was gonna say.
Who we'll get into. Yeah. Out of Hasan's own mouth, by the way. In mid-March, organizations in Singham's network, from the Venceremos Brigade to the People's Forum, a hub for communist causes in New York City, were leaders of the Nuestra American Convoy, which included an estimated 650 delegates from 33 countries and 120 organizations, including the Democrat Socialists of America, a U.S. nonprofit that promotes Piker as a headline member. Indeed, it does. Let's see, is there anything else of interest here? It's a lot of these people involved in it. Administrative subpoenas mark a serious escalation by the Trump admin against a far-leftist nonprofit activist network that has spent years defending communist regimes from Cuba to China. Okay. I think we got it. Let's listen to Hasan in his own words, shall we? Because he's the one who did this.
China communist, though.
I mean, they're really not.
China's more fascist than it is communist.
I mean, they are quite literally communist, or they were as a foundation. At this point, it's
mixed market economy.
Yes, well, mixed market.
What's that? A communist country is indistinguishable from a despotic one.
Yeah. So here. Okay, let's watch the clip first, which is here. This is an old clip from them talking about going to Cuba, and the process that he incurred in doing so. You're gonna notice some shit that is suspicious, and potentially why you get and the brazenness, the casualness with which he says this stuff, that he's just got contacts with the Cuban government. I mean, the hubris is out of control.
I want to go to Cuba. Would you be down?
I fucking love Cuba.
Oh yeah.
How do you know you fucking love Cuba? You've never been, I presume. It is difficult to go.
Yeah, I feel okay, I go there.
The Cuban government actually hit my contact from the embassy.
The Cuban government hit my contact from the embassy. So the Cuban government contacted Hasan indirectly to set this up. I mean, it's a propaganda.
Not knowing that in public, when he's not in his little cubicle where he works from, Hasan is a human gaff machine on
Parliament. He's just gonna
peak era Biden.
An idiot. So he's just gonna go out there and tell his friends on a podcast, be like, yeah, like the Cuban government, like hit me up, bro.
And told him that if the only thing stopping us from coming to Cuba was the.
Thank you for shifting to this other guy, and thank you to other guy for taking a big old nasty sip of that empty coffee.
Consistent internet access, we can make it happen.
Yeah, Cuba is sick.
Wait, the government reached out to you.
So yeah, of course. It's well, not reached out to me. There's there's a middleman there.
Okay.
I feel like he realized in that moment.
Recently?
This was I mean, I'm presuming that this was before his Cuba trip, so this year probably, yeah. He went in March. I didn't realize it was that recently. I thought it was a while back, but I guess it was just in March. So presumably this was sometime earlier this year, or in the last 6 or so months. But I think he noticed as soon as that other guy asked him the question, he was like, oh wait, no, they didn't contact me, they contacted my guy and not me, and knowing that you can't do this stuff.
Because I had a doctor from Cuba.
The Cuban government is under, and Cuba as a country is under a very, very strenuous sanctions from the United States. Like I said, there's only certain hotels that you can stay in Cuba. You can't buy, there's certain things you can't buy in Cuba. There's certainly things you can't bring to or from Cuba. And he was invited by the Cuban government. Yeah.
From the American sanctions.
I think they're looking for anything to string him up on, because I think it's red meat. That is my belief in an administration that has very low approval ratings.
Cuba does this thing called medical missions, and they've been doing it since.
This is astonishing. He actually lays out in detail the whole way they're going to try and get around U.S. regulations and sanctions to let them go to Cuba by pretending to be a medical mission, essentially.
I believe like the 70s, and it's incredibly successful. They have a massive, very robust like medical program, because kind of they have to, because they're under an incredible sanctions regime by the United States of America that the rest of the world thinks is abhorrent, except.
Look, I don't disagree with that. That is objectively true. They are under horrible sanctions. They're also one of the only countries, knock Venezuela off the list, Iran's still there, that doesn't have a Rothschild-owned central bank. Trump's been talking about invading them recently.
For America and Israel that keep consistently vetoing it over and over again.
I hate that he's right. He is right there. It does have, this one actually does have something to do with Israel. When I was watching Barron's video, he was like, Hasan, what does that have to do with Israel? It does. It has to do with Israel because, again, Cuba is one of very few countries left on this earth that doesn't have a Rothschild-controlled central bank. So that is how it has to do with Israel. And Hasan, of course, is a very prolific
He's also a gay homosexual
that
doesn't admit that, though.
Yes. He is a prolific critic of Israel who just so happens to make critics of Israel look retarded, and that's why he's useful. But perhaps his usefulness has worn out. I don't think so. I think this is just red meat for the MAGA base.
But this has created a...
What? Oh, is that it? Okay. Oh, because there's another clip. Yeah. There we go. This is then Hasan reacting to it in present day.
None of this is illegal, okay? As an American citizen, you can...
Yeah, I realize it's not going to work if I do that. Sorry, video was probably fucked up on the last one, wasn't it? Let me see.
Literally be in correspondence with individuals in another country. The American restrictions on this stuff are fucking idiotic. I have a journalism visa. What the fuck are you talking about?
You are hearing the vid twice? Really? Why would that be the case? Why would that be the case? I can't imagine. Are you still?
And what's really funny about it is that every single media outlet that goes to Cuba does this as well. CNN, Al Jazeera, ABC, fucking Fox News. Every goddamn American news outlet that has been to Cuba has done this. None of this is illegal.
It is illegal. It is illegal, by the way. You working with the Cuban government, yes, as an American citizen, and in particular, is illegal. If you weren't an American and doing this, it wouldn't be illegal. But it's because you're an American citizen that it's illegal. So, what I would suggest to Hasan Piker, if you want to be able to do that, if you want to be able to go to Cuba, renounce your American citizenship, and move back to Turkey. How about that, Hasan?
That's true. His head does look tiny when he wears a suit.
It's also true that I do believe that Hasan is a dual citizen, and has Turkish citizenship, in which case, go the fuck back to Turkey so you can go to Cuba all you like. Renounce your American citizenship. Seems like an easy fix to me. Further, that organization I was talking about...
Yeah, but if you can't live in the United States.
Yeah, the organization I was talking about that has the centi-billionaire financing it that he totally exposed there. Did I actually play that? Yes, I did. Of his connection. No, that wasn't even the one. There's an additional clip. Sorry. 1 second. This, however, would you mind reading this for a second while I find it, Spoon? This is about the organization that he went with that hideous-looking woman. She's the one who's in charge of it, right? Or one of the people. That's the one he went with. She's not in charge of it. But this is information about this particular organization that also went with Hasan Piker and other, specifically subreddits that they are connected to. When I did a recent video on Charlie Kirk last year, and they talked about the most radicalized subreddits, these two showed up on
One
it.
of them?
Our Jen Zedong sure did, because I like that name. I remember it very vividly, because I
Jen
was like,
Zedong is still really strong.
Yeah, Jen Zedong is actually pretty clever.
Pretty based.
I had to give it to him. Would you read this for 1 second while I try to find that thing?
Well, it turns out the PSL has a lot of Reddit moderators and therefore subreddits under its control. The right can't meme. Yes, it can. Jen Zedong is pretty base. Late stage capitalism, also pretty base. Effectively, the entire tanky faction on Reddit appears to be directly influenced by China. Thanks for the info, Hasan. I really hate that you can, if you're against capitalism, you're automatically left wing.
Or even just consumerism, right?
Yeah. Like, I would like to think that human beings are more than just economic zones and economic units. Well, the countries are more than just economic zones, and human beings are more than just economic units.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a right wing idea. That's not left wing.
Yes.
The left wing idea is there needs to be more wealth.
Workers, though.
Yes.
That's the way I've seen it.
Yeah.
You're still atomized.
Yeah, the right wing.
No culture. No society. Heritage.
Yeah, the right wing idea is anti-consumerism. Is that you are more than just an instrument of production. That is the right-wing idea.
Yes.
Which, by the way, this is anathema to America, because America, it is all about production.
Oh, there is another subreddit that was in that. There are several subreddits that were in that data set I looked at. R Informed Tanky was in that data set. Send of the Tanks was in that data set. R Ask Tankies was in the data set. It's like it's almost every subreddit that was in that data set of that I looked at last year of the most extremist, like craziest, like that are allowed to exist on Reddit, because of course they are. Fuck, hang on. Sorry to do that, because having to search in another window for the thing where he actually talks about this Singham guy. Is this it? Did we look at this one? I don't think we did. This is where he talks about Singham. Okay, this is good. It's right here anyway. Okay. Here he is talking about it. Yeah.
I think that ultimately the target is probably Singham and his operation, from PSL to Answer Coalition to Co-Pink, like anything that he has ever financed. And it's not new. It's been around for a while, but it's obviously it's held through regardless, because like it's ridiculous, right? It's like totally fucking ridiculous to try and to try and stop like the political advocacy of an American citizen.
That's being organized by the Cuban government and being financed by a centi millionaire with explicit political goals, who funds a bunch of non-profits. Yeah. And then is working with a foreign government. Look, like I said, I think that Trump, this is just red meat for the MAGA base. At the same time, Hasan, are you retarded? Clearly.
Yes.
Clearly.
I think we know that.
Well, you're asking obvious questions.
I know. Why am I asking obvious questions? Yes, Hasan is clearly retarded. How the fuck did you think you were gonna get in trouble for this shit? And now, I think the reason he's squealing like this is because he's scared. He's actually legitimately a little bit scared, but I'm interested in what you guys think. I think he's scared, and he's just like, I'm just gonna go on stream and say everything I know about every contact, who we worked with, just gonna get it out there in the open. Please don't violate me.
I don't see how that makes him look better, though.
No, he looks like a snake. No, he looks like he's disloyal. By the way,
I don't think he looks disloyal. I think he just looks dumb.
I did get the triangle.
I think the idea is that put as much information out there that if he gets whacked, that it's perhaps a bit more obvious.
I don't feel like I have the wherewithal enough to know when it's truly a woe buddy, but I would say it is a woe buddy for Hasan. Whoa, buddy, what the fuck were you doing here?
Also, why is he wearing the
Did it not go to guy? He got noise filtered.
Why is he wearing like the 80s pedophile glasses?
He
looks like Dharma with those things.
He's wearing. Is it because his fan base of Foids love Jeffrey Dahmer? I wouldn't be surprised, by the way.
Dahmer was a homosexual cannibal.
Yeah. Oh, I had this link anyway. So he continues talking about Singham here.
Jeffrey Dahmer is such an easy joke, but it just, I don't know, it just rubs me the wrong way.
Twitter?
Jeffrey Dahmer, that's pretty good.
Let's try reloading it.
It's fitting that it takes him a while to buffer into Hasan.
Yeah. Oh no. Is Twitter having issues? Okay.
As I understand it, I believe some of the Amazon servers are getting migrated today.
I was having problems.
This is coming in from the AI bros and the random fucking built-in chat.
Well, today I woke up and I was using YouTube, and the first video I put on, it gave me ads on, and I was like, I've got YouTube Premium. What's happening here? And yeah,
and those of us who use uBlock instead are having the same experience. Why is it detecting it all of a sudden?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it literally is YouTube. I think that YouTube's Premium literally just is an inbuilt ad blocker, and it is flagging itself.
It was weird though, and then it stopped doing it. It was just one video it did it for it. I was like, excuse me, why is there an ad here?
You know, to try and stop like the political advocacy of an American citizen.
Oh, you're so right. Slaytacular. Shuon Head made fun of the way he dressed, and now he's rocking suits. Isn't it curious? Shuon Head made fun of the way that Hasan dresses, and it was the thing that really tilted him. All the shit that Shu criticized him for, including being a completely fake and performative communist, socialist, utterly fake and performative. And rather than take umbrage with that, she called his fit cheap, and now he's wearing suits. Pathetic.
But he still looks cheap.
He still manages to look cheap, and he looks like Jeffrey Dahmer, yeah.
He looks like he's about to... Put this way, he looks like he's about to go to court, and given his track record with the Hebrews, I don't think he's going to get a great representation.
I don't think so. I don't think you're going to get a Jewish lawyer, Mr. Piker.
He's an American citizen. He lives in China.
He's talking like someone from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And now, he's a centimillionaire.
Here's research talking about Singham, the centibillionaire.
A centimillionaire. I think he has almost $1 billion. Not sure how much money he has now, but like he's been a funding vehicle for a lot of like.
He stole Fuentes' look. He looks like if Fuentes dropped out of the influencer game and became a cheap car salesman in 1977. I don't know.
He just looks Indian.
Yeah.
True.
A lot of political movements in the country, like a lot of activism
and style. The
whole thing. He's trying to be professional, and you can't.
He didn't get to pick it. He was born Turkish.
Fuentes says he's copying off of his DL. I wouldn't be shocked. I like, you know, Fuentes is whatever you think about Fuentes. People, the Groypers like him. They like him for him. It's not just a bunch of middle-aged foids who think he's hot. There's none of that going on, you know, considering he's gay and Mexican. But still, Fuentes has genuine support from people. Piker doesn't. His support is because he's the voice of the people. If someone else hot appeared, he will be replaced. That's it. Hasan's entire career is artificial.
I can't wait for him to adjust his tie here and then for it to end up looking worse.
Yeah, let's see. Does it?
And they hate that shit. Like the American government hates that shit, so they're trying to jam him up.
The gay little bracelets he's got on.
You know, they're trying to hit him on anything and everything they possibly can.
Is that gay? Because I have similar ones of those.
It's gay to wear with a suit. Because it's like, how do I display my political beliefs? Actually, yeah. Where is it? I'm gonna have to read.
Yeah, I wouldn't wear it during a
like
suit.
Yeah, that's why it makes it gay. Is that he's wearing them with.
Still running the fucking jelly arm, but like wristbands.
Palestine. Anyway, I wanted to re-listen to this regardless because he talks about the Singham guy here more.
Country, like a lot of activism, and they hate that shit. Like the American government hates that shit, so they're trying to jam him up. You know, they're trying to hit him on any.
They're trying to jam him up in that he has potentially done and funded shit illegally. Yeah. I don't know why you thought you could just get away with doing this kind of shit with Cuba. Whether or not you agree with it is irrelevant to the legal situation that you're in.
Anything and everything they possibly can. That's it. That's the goal here. That's the broader goal.
Okay. So he snitched on his financier even. And then he basically, in a roundabout way, begged Mom Donnie to save him. I don't think it was really so much to genuinely ask Mom Donnie, but what I actually think it is that he wants his chat, which is full of low IQ retards, to think that Zoran could save him. Like, Zoran could save me. But
Tell us how you really feel, Aiden.
Well, yeah. Zohran could save me, but he's not choosing to. He can't. He's just too busy. Zohran Mamdani is a mayor. He can't do shit for you.
And furthermore, he can't even save money. How's he going to save you?
Well, he has managed to bankrupt. Now, in Mamdani's defense, which I can't believe
That's actually a really underrated joke, by the way.
That was very good. In Mamdani's defense, which I can't believe I have to do, New York City was going to go bankrupt no matter who was elected. The city, apparently their finances were in such dire straits. However, Mamdani has basically said today, well, get ready, proletariat, because we're about to redistribute the wealth. Let's see how that works out. I think Mamdani probably is busier with that than he is with dealing with Hasan Piker. It's weird. It's a weird aspersions, though, that Hasan is casting here by even mentioning Mamdani and talking about how he's too busy to help. Not that he can't do shit to help you. This is a federal investigation, and he's the mayor of New York.
As well, you might need Zohran magic for this one. Yeah, okay, dude. Yeah, I don't think Zohran Mamdani is going to be doing that.
See what I mean? It's that he's not going to be. It's not that he can't. He can't. So why did he? I'm wondering, is he just snitching and throwing everybody under the bus? I don't know. To act like poor Hasan, oh, he's the perpetual victim. The Jews are after me. The Zionists are after me. Which they are, I mean, potentially. But, like, he's been saying it for years, and finally they might be. I mean, he's got to be erect, right? It doesn't seem like it, though. You'd think he'd be so happy to finally
all the finasteride he's on, I doubt it.
Yeah, he can.
You gotta be careful with that shit, folks. That shit will, like, fuck you up.
He did a recent segment he had on Ashley St. Clair. Isn't that Elon's baby mama?
See that.
Or one of maybe, right? And she got him a shirt that said something about, like, best stepdad. Or I'm the dad who stepped up. That's what it's...
Yeah, something like that, which is, oh god, it's fucking cringe.
Well, Hasan, are you gonna step up? Are you gonna step up and be the father that Elon Musk isn't? It was Elon Musk, wasn't it? Was it that who he actually said Claire fucked? Or was it somebody else? Okay, yeah. Would you? I mean, how hilarious? Because Hasan hates Elon Musk. How funny, how truly fittingly hilarious it would be for him to become the surrogate, not surrogate, what do you call it? The stepfather of Elon Musk's child that he had with a hooer. Time to step up.
One, she was a
Hasan.
hooer. Two,
time.
It is.
She was a hooer.
Soon, because I'm not a concerning incident that took place in the New York City region of America. You know what I mean? Highly doubt it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe
He does not look comfortable, by the way. I don't think it's just me. He looks like he's shaking in his not affordable nor stylish boots, to reference.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. He always looks like he's on his way to a bar mitzvah.
He does. Here's what I was saying about Zohran earlier, is that he has bankrupted New York.
Turn into Ferris Bueller's dad.
He has bankrupted New York, and he now has a new plan to transfer ownership of properties back to the community in New York. Well, I'll wait to see how that goes, Zoran.
When necessary, we will take aggressive legal action.
I wonder what group of people are the main slumlords in New York.
I mean, it is a certain group of people. It is.
Ones
Would
who
I
are
just
sitting
drink
on
the
properties
vape
to keep
juice? That would be weird. I don't. It's not the nicotine I like. It's just the smoke. It lets me take a deep breath in and then have a little. It's just the smoke. I just like the feeling of smoking. I've been
enjoy smoke. That's why I keep picking fights.
I've been puffing on hookahs since I was in college. I just got used to doing it. It's a.
The hookah, the bourgeois bong.
I got one in the room, but
yeah, you used once.
It's like a fidget thing, right? In the same way people have fidget spinners or whatever autism devices.
I remember when those were popular for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, but in many ways, because there's a tactile element of smoking, it becomes also. I don't know. It's not even because of the nicotine.
To sort out
I
the
don't
fidgeting,
get anything
something.
out of nicotine. I just like the smoke. Yeah, I have no problem getting nicotine-free ones.
Action to remove negligent owners and property managers. And for buildings that have suffered chronic neglect, we will work to transfer ownership to responsible stewards.
How are you going to do that?
Retards would cheer that.
Well, I mean, if you want to unseat undue Jewish power and influence in New York, that's why someone might want to do it. But
those of you who watch Cold Ones, you saw the state of that fucking $2,000 a night bedsit in New York.
I mean,
with
they
the
are
fucking
slums.
They are straight up like a $2,000 a night slum.
Yeah.
Like flop house.
Yeah. They are indeed slums, and they're really under no pressure because it's all a bunch of slumlords. It's all slumlords who own New York City, essentially, and all collaborate together to make sure that, well, it's just this is how things operate. As long as we all
Welcome
agree,
to communism.
we're not going to improve things.
Genetic dead ends, putting sanctions on white people for crimes committed by Jews.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stewards that include community land trusts, nonprofits.
All corrupt as fuck too, by
Nothing
the way.
is done for no profit.
Financial financial fronts for drug operations.
He is basically saying, let's get rid of the corrupt Jewish, predominantly, land and property owning class, and replace
it with the Pakistanis.
With us. And we'll be the corrupt land owning, property owning class. That's all it is. Like it's not returning the power to the people. It's just a change of management, right?
One group of Semites for another.
Nonprofits.
Thank you, sir.
Or even the tenants themselves.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I highly doubt that. Highly doubt that. It's even the tenants. They might own their stuff. They won't.
Yeah, I don't know why they're cheering that. That could include you.
What will happen is that these people will be offered to purchase the.
Go ahead and continue, Bill. Let me try to figure out why
people will be offered to there are places where if you're a tenant for a certain amount of time, you are offered the chance to purchase the property as a point of course. What will happen is that those people will probably be offered it, and then there'll be some rules loophole where BlackRock can buy it on their behalf.
Possibly, yeah.
And what will happen is it will transfer over to a lease, and then when that person dies, usually of fentanyl or some of the drug overdose or crime, then BlackRock just gets to take the property entirely. That's assuming they don't just sell it to BlackRock whole cloth. Housing trusts, other NGOs. Tell me BlackRock hasn't got their fucking fingers in the pie.
Let me try this. Ooh. Yeah, this is probably it. Okay. Sorry, I'm gonna try to real quickly change this because I this is the best way I know to try and reset the echo. There we go. We'll see what happens here, right? Hopefully this will reset the echoing that's occurring. Sorry guys. Do you have anything to contribute, Spoon? Any opinions on Zoran Mamdani? Additionally, I think we're pretty much good. There we go. Got it. Okay, let's...
He is a homosexual, and he has been sponsored by Jews himself.
Speaking of homosexuals, here's Marco Rubio. Oh, real quick, sorry, let me read
Cuban
Someone the Ledge. I must have forgot. Well, yeah, we're back to Cuba again. Someone the Ledge for 100 ARS says, Chank's nephew, honoring his commie cockroach moniker, was squashed flat by a shoe, right, yes indeed. His choice of a brown suit and the tiny cranium. Stick a pair of antennas, go on Hasan, complete the look. He does need a little pair of antennas to match his little brown suit and his little brown head. Okay, well, I mean, it's true.
Yes, and just some DD boppers and 12 feet of rope.
Okay, so the absolute audacity of Marco Rubio, again speaking of homosexuals, to say the things he's about to say while on stage next... I looked this up, I don't know where he said this. But, I mean, he's next to an Indian guy with a bunch of Indian flags, so I presume it's India. And the audacity of him to say this in this context. No Rumble Oil King, because I keep messing it up. I have to... today because of the heat. It is finally just now as the sun is starting to go down become tolerable. I gotta get it figured out next week. I will do it. I will commit. I will commit to it next week to figuring out how to do it and not running late. Hopefully it won't be record-breakingly hot next week. Anyway, Marco Rubio saying this in this context is fucking rich.
They would rather invest in Hezbollah. They would rather invest
in
rapists.
Talking about Iran. They would rather invest in Hezbollah and rapists. Well, he's standing next to an
Indian.
No,
let him cook. Let him cook.
He's standing next to an Indian.
And the murderers of Hamas. They would rather invest in those groups than they do in their own people.
As he stands next to an Indian, who don't invest in their own people at all, and instead they just get H-1B visas and come to the U.S. and Canada.
No, that is part of their investment. They are legit. They're a engineered diaspora.
Yeah.
They are legitimately just. I'm preaching to the choir here, building up power bases in foreign countries by just shipping hundreds of millions of their people around the world as flotsam.
Sheer audacity of this Enwa to say the Iranian government doesn't invest in their own people while standing next to some Indian dude in front of a bunch of Indian flags. It's palpable.
That's what Iran invests in. And that's what the world, that's what you should be asking me about. That's what the BBC...
Look, that's why he doesn't even react. Maybe he can't understand, but, you know.
That's not the bit that I find bizarre. The bit that I find bizarre is that he's an American saying that when considering how much money they spend on the military.
Anonymous says, if you stream on Rumble, you can read ads for Israel with Rumble Studio. Jared does it all the time. I was also interested in that. Yeah, you can, when you have Rumble Studio, you can, like, pick ad reads to do during the stream. Except for, here's the thing. They make you, like, $10 to do an ad read, which is degrading. Now, I'll do an ad read if I get paid a decent amount to do an ad read. I'm not going to do... Also, by the way, if you would like to get some actually very good, high-quality, handmade, at least hand-engineered teas and coffees, you can always go down to the description and check out my link to Dragon's Treasure Tea for real tea made by real people and not drop-shipped shit. That is
real tea for real Romans.
For real anime lovers and Romans, perhaps. We always go check out Dragon's Treasure Tea, indeed.
How evil these people are in Iran and the damage they've done to people all over the world. They would.
Yeah. Okay.
Build a fucking wall around India and fill it with water.
So, for the last week and for many weeks now, there have been deals or ideas floated about. Will there be a deal with Iran this week? Will there be a deal with Iran the next week? Oh, we have to work towards some sort of deal because obviously, you know, this is not sustainable. We've been in a ceasefire for a couple weeks now, except for the problem with that idea of normally in a ceasefire, you don't keep firing upon each other, but the United States has been continually firing on Iran during the ceasefire, as we'll get to. Israel has ramped up its, I'm going to be honest, invasion of Lebanon, even though Donald Trump, now months ago, told Israel, he made it a public truth, fuck off, stop attacking Lebanon. Said it was like essentially a deal breaker.
Yeah.
Now, Trump's saying, actually, that's fine. It's okay to attack Lebanon. It's self-defense. Some of the first people that, I mean, there are, look.
How's it self-defense? They're the ones who invaded Lebanon.
Oh, because, no, Lebanon's an existential threat, just like Iran's an existential threat, just like, eventually, everything is an existential threat to Israel, including the United States. By the way, everything is. Everyone is you're fine with any ally until you're not. Until your usefulness
people tend to take
welcome.
exception when they find out that your goal is to literally cause the end of the world.
Well, yeah.
They tend to be living there.
I mean, that we've been through it, not to go back through all of the insanity of that end time stuff that the you know, evangelicals believe, and that also a lot of these people in these deeply religious Jewish sects believe about you know, the end times and how all the world will bow to Israel. And by the way, they have to become the enemy of the world before that happens. They have to make everyone hate them first in order to get to the end times where all the world bows to them.
They're doing a pretty good job of that, actually.
That's part of their, if that's part of their belief system, it makes sense why they're so transparently, overtly, comically evil. Everyone has to hate them first. And they, like, I'm not talking again about regular people. The Israeli government, of course, is what I'm talking about.
I'm talking about regular people.
So, is there going to be a deal with Iran? The answer already, I can tell you, is no. But for a couple, what? Oh, I put it in twice, I think. It was floated for a few days. Very close, any day now, to making a deal largely negotiated, the BBC says, including reopening the Strait of Hormuz. Fuck off. Trump says that an agreement with Iran has been largely negotiated. This was 5 days ago. The deal would include the reopening of the strait. Said on Saturday, Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesperson said earlier that, or told state television earlier, that the U.S. and Iranian positions had been converging in the last week, but warned that did not mean agreements would be reached on key issues and accused the Americans of contradictory statements. I can only fucking imagine. And I can give you an idea of what some of them are, as we'll get to. One of the things that is a proviso, and I don't know if it was then, but we know it is now, is for Iran to recognize the State of Israel by joining the Abraham Accords. By the way, every country in the world needs to join the Abraham Accords. That's part of this whole stuff, which is, allegedly it's just to recognize the State of Israel, but it means being subservient to the State of Israel. And until Iran does that, well, there is no deal. That's basically what's been said at this point, is that until Iran capitulates to, recognizes Israel, there can be no deal. Remind me again about how this is about nukes, how this is about even regime change. This is how they've totally dropped this one, but remind me again how this is about saving the Iranian people from their corrupt terrorist regime.
It was never about that to begin with.
Of course not. It was never about that. It was never about nukes because they never had nukes. It was never, it might be about regime change, yes. But why regime change? Is it regime change because the regime is so evil? I don't know. The United States put that regime in power. And 47 years ago. That's your regime. So, it's really just about Israel. And I hate to sound that way, because it does make you sound kind of loopy. Like, it makes you sound like a Hassan Piker. Like I said, that's on purpose. So that when you say, it's Israel, it's Israel, it's Israel, you're like, oh, you're crazy. But it actually is Israel. In this case, quite obviously. Demonstrably it is. Oh, where were we? Okay, Washington and Tehran have engaged in talks over a long-term peace deal since ceasefire in early April. Trump wrote on social media that he had a very good call with the leaders of Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Qatar, and others about a memorandum of understanding pertaining to peace, which is an acronym. An agreement has been largely negotiated, subject to finalization between the United States of America, the Islamic Republic of Iran, and various other countries as listed. So here it was on the 25th, yes, saying 23rd. Let's go back one more. On the 23rd, saying, we've got it it's almost worked out any day now. Well, that didn't last. How many times has this happened now, Spoon? How many times have we been close to brokering a peace deal with Iran since this ceasefire, which isn't a ceasefire? Count. Yeah, it keeps happening, just like, and it's the same thing.
Count, no idea.
It's the same thing every time, too, where Trump continually floats, we're about to come to a deal, there's about to be peace, and then what happens, by the way? What happens immediately after he floats those kinds of ideas? That we're just minutes, hours away from peace with Iran.
Another fuel price change.
There you go, that's it, that's what happens. All of a sudden, the price of gas goes down as the markets react to it. And I can't believe it, after 3-4 months, that it still works. It does, though. But, obviously the Iranians, although Trump said, we're about to close the deal anytime, about to close the deal at any second, the Iranians said, no, there is not imminent progress being made. Or at least we're not, imminently going to make a deal. And one of the reasons why is because the Iranians aren't going to give up their nuclear program. And really the United States isn't in any position currently to demand that they do. All of their stuff was previously checked out by every single watchdog organization before. They were not, according to every expert, every organization, including the CIA and the American intelligence services, Iran was not building a nuclear weapon. So I know that you guys here have heard this a million times before, but don't let yourself get fucking gaslit into somehow thinking that they were. Because the Trump administration, all they do is just repeat, Iran was 2 weeks away from a nuclear weapon. Iran was 2 weeks away from a nuclear weapon. They've been saying that specifically. The Israeli government has been saying that for 30 years. Now Trump's picked up the trend. The Republicans have picked up the trend. However, every international watchdog group says, no, Iran was not. The U.S. intelligence services say, no, Iran was not. Just to be clear, I hate that shit so much. It really gets under my skin with the nukes stuff. Because it's so obviously false, and it makes me feel like I'm in a fucking time loop and I'm back in 2002. Fuck. And boomers fall for it all over again. And younger people as well, sadly. At least they don't have the excuse of having been alive during it. Let's see. Iran has poured cold water on suggestions that a deal with the U.S. is imminent, pointing to the confusion in the U.S. positions.
No, you're right the first time they poured coal.
They have poured coal on it, yeah.
Stop posting coal, sir.
As key factors in why a complete agreement is proving difficult to secure. Speaking at the weekly Foreign Ministry press briefings, Ismail Baghai, the spokesperson for Iran's negotiating team, also said that future management of the strait was a matter for Oman and Iran to reach an agreement on. By the way, Trump just said today that he's going to blow up Oman. I'd like to be clear, if you're not aware, Oman, a United States ally.
Not for long.
Referring to the state of the talks, Baghai said it is correct to say that we have reached a conclusion on large portions of the issues under discussion, but to say that this means the signing of an agreement is imminent, no one can make such a claim. He also insisted that a ceasefire in Lebanon had to be included in the memorandum of understanding that it would lead to Iran allowing commercial shipping through the strait. That's in response today. Trump said essentially, fuck Oman, no, in no way, in fact, maybe we'll blow them up too. An ally. He insisted that a ceasefire in Lebanon, by contrast, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio still held out hope that a deal could be reached by Monday. Womp womp, it wasn't. But there appeared to be a mounting list of unresolved problems in what was intended to be a roadmap to reopening the nuclear talks that Trump abandoned in February in favor of war. So just, again, also to remind you of that, is that Iran, as of February of this year, was in talks with the United States to discuss more transparency regarding their nuclear program, so that the U.S. would be able to have, more ability to monitor it, to know that they're not making nukes, they're just making, energy facilities. They were actually, I think, even considering just dropping it altogether. You think they're going to do that now? And in particular, just to remind you, it was in a meeting of the senior Iranian leaders who were meeting to discuss peace and collaboration with the United States, that the United States, knowing they were in that meeting to discuss peace and to discuss collaboration, killed them. Let's come to a deal. Can we go back to discussing the nuclear stuff like we were in February, after we just killed all your leadership who were literally discussing that and peace? Why would anyone in their right mind ever negotiate with the United States ever again? I mean, I said it at the time, I'll reiterate it now. Why would any country ever negotiate with the United States after they've done this? Not me.
It's generally considered poor form to jump someone when they're under the white flag of peace.
Yes. It's not just poor form. Like, I mean...
I'm being intentionally understated.
I see so many Americans were like, fuck yeah, let's go, America, fuck yeah, we're so badass. It's like, yeah, what you were engaging in peace talks with them, and then you killed them. You red weddinged them, to put it in terms that mediated people can understand. Do you understand? You remember Red Wedding? Remember Game of Thrones? That's what you did. You not see a problem with that? You not think those people don't want to work with you in the future? Weren't going to trust you? They already know reason to trust you because you overthrew their government.
Pulling the remember Game of Thrones hits a bit different now after we've had Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Yeah, that's true. That, you know what, you're right. No,
so remember Game of Thrones? Yeah, I do.
I do, yeah. Indeed, it is much better now. I am going to refresh my drink. I have to use the restroom, and I could use a little bit of a rest of my voice. Spoon, would you mind, or Bill, would you mind taking this article for a moment from me, please? Which either one of you would be fine. Don't get too excited, lads. All right.
The Floyd has left the chat. Means we can randomly bullshit about stuff because she's not here.
What? I'm right here.
Yeah, finally.
All right, I'm gonna leave though for a second. Okay, I'll be right back.
Yeah, every time she's away, she thinks I've been better. Some fucking bug of some kind bit me during the heat wave. My legs got a bit of a swell to it, but it'll pass.
Yeah, at least it isn't infecting you, I suppose.
It's because it's this mosquitoes. We got horses because the stables. I'm allergic to horsehair. I get pumped full of horse blood from mosquito. My leg swells up. It's just the nature of the thing.
It isn't that bad. A couple of days ago, I cut my head shaving, actually really, really badly, but I didn't really pay attention. I just felt like a slight nick. I thought, that's kind of sore, whatever. It's not the first time I've done that. And then I'm just sort of cutting, and then I look up in the mirror and I just see this huge line of blood just streaming down my forehead. And I'm like, oh, shit. That's probably not good. And I put a plaster on my head that night. And I went to bed thinking, I'll be all right. And then somehow I'd wake up in the morning and I feel something soft in the back of my head, but still kind of attached to my head, and I just didn't know what the hell that was. It just felt like the edge of my plaster. I just went like, it feels strange. And then I go to the bathroom, and then I realize, oh shit, that's hardened, dried blood. And then I go to my pillow, and it looks like a fucking crime scene on it. And I'm like, oh shit, something was tugging during the night, and it's opened up the bloody wound. And oh god, that was a complete fucking mess.
I swear I'm the only person who cares about phrasing in this chat.
Yeah. How it goes finding a wife? I'm not looking for one, so I don't really know. It's neutral is the answer to that question. But yeah, fine now. Just I have a habit of doing that with a new razor. Is I have to cut my head. It's kind of like an honorary tradition at this point. But yeah, other than that, it's quite chilly in the evenings actually now. It's not as bad as last year though. But geez, last year was fucking cold. But then again, it's June, July, August, so it might get worse. Fuck knows.
It's one of those things. I'm eternally torn between the fact that I've got a yuzu tree that I want to actually have fruit at some point, but also the desire for it to just constantly be frost.
Oof, yeah. A lot of maintenance work.
I'm just the yuzu plant's as good as fuck all. The thing is just we'll never fucking bear fruit ever, I don't think. But I work in an office and in a freezer at work, so I'm used to cold temperatures, and I fucking prefer it to this dog shit. So thankfully, I think I just caught a bear's breeze from the windows. I think it's that, finally proper sundown. Small fucking mercies.
Get it where you can, I suppose. Ooh.
The influencer, I believe, has returned to her seat.
Oh my gosh, it is
He's
so...
muted.
Oh yeah, I'm not muted for the chat. Hang on, I'm muted for you guys. Oh my goodness, it is so much
She
cooler.
continued having a conversation despite being muted, with us. I want everyone to know that.
Well, I didn't know I had muted myself on Discord. I thought I hadn't. However, the difference in temperature between up here and down there is remarkable, honestly. It's so much nicer downstairs. Oh well. Okay, what you guys were talking about? What were you guys talking about while I was
weather?
Away? The weather still? I mean, I did talk about it for a while.
Shaving conundrums and trees.
Spoon scalped himself.
Scalped yourself? Bro.
Yeah. Fun times.
Let's see.
See, I don't have to do that. Mother Nature does that for me.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to talk about in this article in particular. This is, so, regarding what Iran has said about why they're not specifically interested in these peace deals, right? Baghay also said that no nuclear issues, such as what to do with the Iranian stockpile of highly enriched uranium would be tackled in the memorandum, except for a commitment to negotiate within the next 60 days. Trump, under mounting pressure from critics inside the Republican Party, wants the memorandum to include contain a commitment by Iran to dispose of its stockpile of highly enriched uranium, even if the precise method is not detailed. Previous rounds of talks. So in other words, Iran
They basically mean sell it to. You
Yes.
will have to sell it to Israel, or you'll sell it to no one. Because
I don't know if
the
you
Yanks
get to
already
sell
sold Russia all the yellow cake.
I don't even know if they get
Basically,
to sell
needs
it.
like to hand it over to.
You're gonna give over your uranium, your enriched uranium, yes. I would imagine, to Israel or something like that. In previous rounds of talks with the U.S., Iran says it is willing to downblend its enriched uranium, but will not permit the transfer of the stockpile to either the U.S. or Russia. It has spoken of suspending domestic enrichment for as long as 5 years, but not the 20 years sought by the U.S. Iranian officials, and this is, like, the nuclear stuff, Iran's not going to budge on it. And again, because...
Why would they?
Why would they? Why would they give up their ability to have nuclear energy, their ability to defend themselves as well, when other countries are allowed to have nukes? You're talking about Israel, which is not that far away from them, which does have nukes. Nukes that they stole from the United States, by the way. They stole the yellow cake. They stole the designs. That's our greatest ally. But Iran can't defend itself in the way that Israel can. Curiously, Iranian officials also claimed the political outcry about the deal inside the U.S. was placing pressure on Trump to backtrack on plans to release as much as $12 billion, dollars or 9 billion pounds, because it's The Guardian, in frozen Iranian assets held in Qatar. The government of Iran... backtrack... I mean, they were putting pressure on him to do that, but was there political outcry about it? At least I didn't see it. Political outcry from whom? Conservatives. Well, MAGAs, I guess. The governor of Iran's central bank, Abdul Nasser Hamadi, traveled to Qatar on Monday. The release of the assets is a central Iranian demand, but has painful parallels for Trump, who lambasted Barack Obama, for giving $1.7 billion to Iran in cash at the time of the 2015 nuclear deal. Bagai, referring to the chaos in Washington, said, quote, "You are faced with a wave of dismissals, contradictory statements. Trump doesn't care about that. Jesus, a peacetime president? I'm the president of peace.
Yeah, that's kind of his MO at this
With
point.
him, you're gonna get war. You're not gonna get that with me." Opposition from Congress and opposition from parts of public opinion. Trump, by contrast, has dismissed his critics, saying that he would not listen to losers who are critical of something they know nothing about.
Ooh, the irony.
In other words, no peace deal with Iran. It doesn't sound like they were even close to it. Iran has certain things that it's not willing to budge on. It's not willing to budge on the nuclear stuff. They used to be, but not now, because why would they be? And they want their assets back. And the US is also not willing to budge on these things. I guess Trump not willing to budge on the assets part because it'll make it look like Obama. And on the nuke stuff because that is a prerequisite for Israel. So let's talk about, this is some of the stuff from today, from Trump, right? That he's come out with in response to the peace deal falling through. That he said was pretty much assuredly going to happen. Still hammering on about the no nuke stuff. Remember, they didn't have any.
Regardless of anything, as Marco said better than anybody can say it, you can't let them have a nuclear weapon. They would use it instantly. They wouldn't think about it. They would use it instantly. I've gotten to know them.
Why?
Why? On who, by the way? On whom? On which country would they use it? Presuming that's true, which, I mean, I see no evidence of. I thought they'd had a nuke, or they've been 2 weeks away from a nuke for the last 47 years. I don't know. Who knows? Does or does not North Korea have a nuke?
Yes, they do.
Have they
used it? No. Has Russia used it? No. Have you used one? Well,
Yes.
you used once in the Japanese.
Oh, twice, yeah.
Use it instantly.
Russia's stockpile is actually larger than the American one.
As Marco said better than anybody can say it, you can't...
I'm sorry, it's repeating, man.
No, we've actually, from what I can understand, my understanding is pretty much every nation on Earth has more or less lost their knowledge of how about over half of their fucking nukes even work anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Greek fire methodology, you know, so few people had the secrets that, again, it's just as I understand it.
I think I think I got the volume turned up a bit on these from now on. Also, Iran, as of today, has also come out with a counter proposal. So again, Iran's saying like, hey, we got to be able to keep our enriched uranium. You know, you fucked us over so badly here. We're not going to just capitulate on this kind of stuff. Trump comes out, no nukes, no uranium. Not willing to debate on that. Again, I think that's a Netanyahu order. Iranian state TV has published what it claims is a new draft proposal for peace with the U.S., reportedly still clashes with several American major red lines. Well, the thing is, they both have red lines. And I don't think that they are necessarily... I don't think there is any way to come to an agreement on this in a way that doesn't piss off Israel. And that means there's no deal. Until something's got to give. Otherwise, there's no give. Or there's no deal, excuse me.
What it claims is a draft of the initial framework with the U.S. Now, there are a number of points in here that appear to be very out of step with a lot of the U.S. red lines. So take this information.
Well, you're out of step with a lot of Iran's red lines. Figure it out.
A very large grain of salt.
Okay, I've got the plan.
Yeah?
We're going to give Israel to Ulster.
Okay.
Okay, and then?
That's the whole plan. Fuck them.
It's just Ulster?
Ulster, Yep. It's be a laugh.
It would be a laugh. That's true.
Is there any reason why also, or just?
You know,
it's the funniest.
Northern Ireland hasn't had a dub in a while. I'm not going to give it to the Republic of Ireland. It's run by fucking communists these days.
Well, which is the country that had the Bobby Sands burger? Was that Lebanon?
That was Iran.
Well, it was Iran. It was Iran that had Bobby Sands burger.
Let's understand it, Liz.
It's such.
That's what it's really about. This is an angle conspiracy.
I know that they like Bobby Sands. I know that they see him as like representative of the revolution or something.
It was like a mutual struggle against the English, I believe, was the ending.
But why would you? It's a man who starved himself to death in protest. Why would you make a burger shop based on him? I don't know. Just, I have questions about it.
Is it funny?
If based, if that's why. Extraordinarily based if that's why the Iranians did it.
That the memorandum of understanding would have the...
Not their government. That was just regular people who did that. Based.
U.S. withdraw forces...
It'd be like having a brand of daycare centers named after Winnie Mandela.
What? Oh my. Shademaster, have you heard...
Yeah, you weren't expecting a deep cut joke, were you?
Speaking of deep cut, Shademaster asks, have you heard Ron White's presidential platform? I haven't heard of Ron White I haven't heard anything from him in 15 years. He was part of the redneck comedy group with Jeff Foxworthy. And Larry the Cable Guy. Oh my god, I haven't talked about any of these guys in forever. But I always liked Ron White. He was always my favorite of those guys. Unless it's a different Ron White. That's who I'm thinking of. Maybe. Could be wrong.
Exchange for Iran restoring commercial traffic through the Strait of Hormuz within a month, with all ship traffic managed by Iran. They further claim if a deal is reached, it would become binding with a UN Security Council resolution. We have heard no updates from the U.S. side, but the White House has repeatedly pushed back on premature reports and inaccurate reports about what these discussions entail.
I will look it up,
This is new from Iran today, so likely we'll hear some response from the White House. But today the president is set to meet with his cabinet to discuss...
Whatever, is there anything else interesting in this? I watched this earlier. I had some reason for putting this in here. Oh, it was just that they have a new draft. The U.S. is going to deny it. The U.S. is going to deny any deal that Iran comes up with. Because, yeah, these things can't be reconciled currently. Iran's not going to be willing to give up its potential energy futures and its potential ability to defend itself from a country that clearly does not play by the international rules and doesn't give a shit. Well, sets the rules of engagement, therefore they make them up as they go along. That would be suicidal. And then, is going to ask for its money back. Clearly.
As I've stated before, period of times, from which you'll find in the scholarly work version of The Art of War, a regular person and a desperado do not operate on the same level.
Yeah.
You would be thought a coward because you didn't know how to react because someone started stabbing people in the market at random. Similarly, it is very difficult to come to diplomatic terms with a country that is 100% perfectly comfortable with the idea of the end of the world, and in fact are rooting for it.
Yeah, yeah.
How do you negotiate with that?
Yeah.
By the way, yes, it is the ballroom. The ballroom comes back into this whole story from the past week. The ballroom comes back into it. Because, in addition to the red meat of Hasan Piker, there has been another shooting at the White House. Again. Yeah, there was one last week as well, but there's been another one this week. And what did, or was it the week before?
At this point, I don't really care.
But do you know what Trump did? The most predictable thing imaginable. After the shooting, he came out and said, "This is why I need my ballroom. I need my ballroom. I need you all to pay. I need the American public to pay." I know we're not paying for all of it or whatever, but it's still a significant amount. And it's just a monument to his hubris. I thought, are you not scared for your life? There's another shooting. Didn't you get your ear almost shot off? Your head almost blown off? And you're not actually scared by this shit? I can tell you're not, because the second that there's another shooting, you know, like, that you were not in danger of dying from.
Yeah, this whole bullshit has cemented my idea that he was never at risk even from the initial one, and he was bleeding.
Well, they say White House shooting, right? Which it was. There was a shooting at the White House. But then there's the implication that Trump was being shot at. Holy fuck. If you've never been to D.C., and you know, bless your lucky stars you've not, never been to D.C., you can't get anywhere near it. You cannot get anywhere near the White House.
And even if you could, wouldn't that defeat the object of having the ballroom at the White House? The whole idea was for it to have tighter security.
Right. So, okay, there was a shooting at the White House, so this wouldn't have happened if I'd had my ballroom at the White House?
At the
Question
White
mark?
House, yeah.
Try to make that make sense.
I do believe that
Thank
doesn't
you,
make
Bill. I
any
hadn't even
sense.
thought about how dumb. I knew something about it. Like, I already found it pathetic because it's like, please, can I have my ballroom now, please? I'm being so victimized.
Also, this guy has worked extensively in wrestling. Why are any of us surprised that he's running a heel run at the end of his fucking setup?
Yeah. So this woman's done a little write-up of events. So this was published, we'll get down to that, on the 24th, so 4 p.m. yesterday, Trump announces that they've made a deal. 2 hours later, man with a long history of mental illness, who was literally involuntarily committed by the
Say
Secret
the
Service
words
last
again,
July,
FBI.
somehow gets
He
access
was
to a
on our
gun.
radar.
Somehow gets access to a gun, shows up and opens fire on the White House. 11 hours after that, Bibi Netanyahu decides to make a public post specifically about this shooting that is very reminiscent of his weird-ass posts following Charlie Kirk's murder. He made this one before ever even publicly acknowledging the very unpopular Iran deal. And within hours, it looks like the deal is off again. Call me crazy. I don't give a fuck if this is some coincidence. I don't know how it is they're doing it. Probably some kind of mind control or hypnosis, but it's them. I can't prove it. Actually,
What, like mind control, that like MK Ultra, that thing that the
Like MK
Israelis were
Ultra?
funding during the 60s, and they have literally got on documentation, yeah, we've got it to work.
Yeah, indeed.
And after it came out during the Second Gulf War, that they could, via a drone or via any kind of high altitude aeronautics, they could just point a fucking speaker at your head and basically cause schizophrenia by vibrating your skull.
Yeah, right? Right? Whew. Okay. Bibi
We have,
Netanyahu.
we've had AI image production since the early 2000s.
Yes.
Because all the Sandy Hook,
Yes.
like family photos are AI.
Well, what was the one? Wasn't it John Benet Ramsey? Was that the one that they said that looked AI? Now there was another like very famous case. That wasn't it. I don't think it was John Benet Ramsey.
No, it wasn't Ramsey. It was. I know for a fact it was the one.
Famous case where like the photo. Now they've looked back at it and said this looks like it's made by computers. Computer generated stuff. I don't remember which case it was now. Some nationally sensational case in the U.S. I just don't remember which. Netanyahu says, "I'm relieved that President Trump, the best friend Israel has ever had in the White House, is safe and that the attacker was neutralized before he could cause any further harm. Political violence, including repeated attempts to assassinate President Trump, should be unequivocally and forcefully denied by all." This guy runs a state that has engaged
denied.
Look, I know leftists say it all the time, but they have engaged in genocide. They're attacking their neighbors despite being repeatedly told to stop. They're expansionistic, and they're extremely violent. Extremely violent. So this rings quite hollow to me, Bibi, in how they've treated their neighbors.
Aiden, please. I'd want rid of them even if they were peaceful.
Aw. Well, I mean, it's real difficult to like the state of Israel. But in reality,
you
of
so
course,
much. Blame it on the misfortune of your birth.
indeed. Once again, though, at least the reason for floating a lot of it, I think, was to temporarily normalize gas prices.
The main statement from the United States and Israel from the very beginning: no nuclear weapon for Iran. A senior administration official, though, telling Fox News that Iran has agreed to the framework of a peace deal and that we are 95% there, but also adding that the U.S. will not roll over on any issues.
I don't believe any of that.
The instincts of the president is that Iran could take another 5, 6, or 7 days to, in his words, get it right. But he does describe the negotiations, the president, as constructive. Earlier today, he also took to Truth Social and he took aim at the naysayers of a potential deal, saying in part, quote, "Well, it isn't even fully negotiated yet, but so don't..."
Oh my god, it's that meme where it's like, how do you know it's shit? It's not even out yet. It's a guy, squatting over a plate and and taking a shit, but it's not even out yet. How do you know that it's shit? 6-7. Thank you, Glup Shadow.
Listen to the losers who are critical about something they know nothing about. Unlike those before me who should have solved this problem many years ago, I don't make bad deals. Tehran wants an immediate end to the conflict. That much is for certain before negotiating a laundry list of issues, the biggest of which is Iran's access to a nuclear weapon. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says the end result is critical to the entire world. Listen.
There is the possibility that over the next few hours, the world will get some good news, at least with regards to the Straits and with regards to a process that can.
I'm waiting for a certain part of this video.
Leave us where the president wants us to be, and that is a world.
Is
that
this
no
not the right
longer
one?
has to be in
No, it's
fear
just in.
or worry about an
Oil and
Iranian
gas prices are going down. Here we go.
According to Axios, both countries hope to sign a memorandum of understanding that would last.
Is it not actually in this
days,
report?
But could be extended, and during that.
I needed a second to take a breath, guys. I knew it was in here. Oil and gas prices are plunging as Trump surges towards Iran deal. I assume it's in here. They were. And this, look, this is a thing that has happened now a dozen times during this conflict. Trump announces, any second now we're about to come to a deal. And then, instantaneously, the next day, gas prices drop and it ends up going back, creeping back up. I don't know why the markets are still reacting, but they are. But you know what? Actually, we don't even need to deal with. We didn't even want to deal with Iran in the first place. I didn't even need it. I don't even care. This is Marco Rubio. Who even need to deal with Iran? Their stinky oil. They keep doing this too. I feel like I'm having deja vu because we've been hearing this shit for the last 3 months, and it's gonna keep going on. We don't even need the Strait of Hormuz. That's for our European not allies because they're stinky Europors to deal with. And then immediately just going back to, we need some kind of deal, so we can end this, essentially, because that'll make the American people happy. But no, it just goes on in a loop, a perpetual Ouroboros of bullshit.
I don't think anyone's been tougher on the Iranian nuclear ambition than President Trump. Understand, okay? Again, I don't know what some of these individual comments have been from different sectors of our politics in the United States, but I will say this: there is no one who has been stronger on this issue than President Trump. Multiple political leaders, multiple presidents of the United States have all said the same thing. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. The only one who's tried to do anything and has actually done anything about it in a real way has been President Trump. So
you're not going to get this. You're not going to get this. You're not going to get this through with they can't have any nuclear enrichment by just saying nuclear weapon over and over again. Like, I know you're propagandizing to morons when you say this shit, little Marco, but it's not going to work when you're talking to the Iranians.
his commitment to that principle that they'll never have a nuclear weapon shouldn't be questioned by anybody. And the idea that somehow this president, given everything he's already proven he's willing to do, is going to somehow agree to a deal that ultimately winds up putting Iran in a stronger position when it comes to nuclear ambitions is absurd. That's just not going to happen.
No, not a stronger position.
Anything that
just
they say you shouldn't
alone.
be trusted. Anything
Yes.
that is referred to as shouldn't be questioned is the thing you should be
Yes,
questioning. the fucking
indeed.
most.
You should immediately question that. But the other thing is, how's it going to leave them in a stronger position? Well, you have left them in a stronger position because of Donald Trump's actions. Now they're less willing to negotiate about that stuff. In February, they were considering just, handing everything over. Essentially, being open to more collaboration with the United States, as I said before. That's off the table now because Trump invaded them for Israel, and, attacked them for Israel. I don't know where we stand currently on the ground invasion of Iran. I've not heard anything about that in a while, actually.
Probably not a wise idea.
Yeah. It seems there was information that was coming out about that, about 5,000 troops they were supposed to send over, and I've not heard anything about that in about 2 months. So I'm wondering what's going on with the 2,000, 5,000 troops, because I heard differing numbers. Or 2,500.
It takes like at least 18 months to train them, and they don't have that kind of time frame. So
No,
how
I mean, they just presume they're already trained, but I guess not. Where are the troops that... I had heard that they had already been shipped out, like, months ago. But I've not heard anything. I could just have flown past, over my radar, or under it, I suppose.
But our preference is to address this through a diplomatic means. And that's what we're endeavoring to
Oh,
do
are
here.
really? Really a diplomatic means? You have no interest in diplomacy here. This is a bunch of waffle and bullshit. You think you can hold out for a little bit so that you can rebuild your stockpiles? I mean, the United States has lost those, what are they called, Spoon? The
defensive ones?
The missile interceptors.
Yeah.
They've
depleted those.
The billion-dollar ones. You know? Huge amounts of American equipment has been destroyed or depleted, and the Iranians can pump out more and more of their little drones. I say little, but like, you know, they're effective drones to compensate very, very easily.
Commercial drone, quick assembly.
Thads.
Why I lead for it. It's all you really need to wage war these days.
Yeah, yeah.
And guess what? Those drones don't just have one major warhead. They have most of them have 3D printed, like 6-round rotary dispersal unit.
I think the THAADs we lost I think 2 THAAD interceptors, which are incredibly expensive. I don't remember how much they were, but wasn't it like $1 billion or nearly that for one of those? And we've lost 2 of them. I don't know if it was a B or Cuba brought some Iranian drones. Yeah, I did see that, Dominic Bites. I did indeed see that. Well, they can make them quite quickly. So for however much the U.S. thinks it's rebuilding its military capacities during the ceasefire that is not a ceasefire because the U.S. keeps attacking Iran, Israel keeps attacking Lebanon. That is a separate situation, to be fair. And by the way, one of the things that Iran has said, as we mentioned earlier, non-negotiable as well, stop bombing Lebanon, stop attacking Lebanon. Israel has to agree to that. I don't know what happens when the fighting starts back up, but Iran will have replenished its stockpile of drones.
Made some progress. I'm always cautious when I say that because you can agree to things on paper, they actually have to be implemented. You can agree to things in writing, and then you actually have to go out and do it. And but I do think perhaps there is the possibility that over the next few hours, the world will get some good news, at least with regards to the Straits.
Well, it didn't.
And with regards to a process that can ultimately leave us where the president wants us to be, and that is a world that no longer has to be in fear or worry about an Iranian nuclear weapon.
They keep going on about this, but as I've said a million times over, it's actual fucking nonsense. But yeah, actually, Trump he doesn't need to deal with Iran. He doesn't need any of it, really. Was this the right one? What's this? Did I put the wrong link in here? I may have. My moth want to do so. Yeah, we don't even need it. We don't need any of that stuff. We don't even care about Iran. This is so, again, it's the same scripts being repeated. We don't even care. That's for Europors to deal with.
It's never been anything like that. We don't need oil. We don't need the Straits. We don't need anything. But we have more oil now being produced by 2 times, than Russia and Saudi Arabia combined. And Saudi.
We don't even need it. Okay. So again, don't care. It's the same. It's so crazy. You really do feel like you're living in limbo, just repeating the same shit. Sisyphean.
Because we are. We've been living in limbo for God knows how many months now.
I know. So this is, which is this one? I have my notes. Oh, this is where he mixes Iran up with Venezuela.
And the average 401k, and that's despite the conflict. I don't call it a war, I call it a conflict. Despite the conflict with Venezuela, who no longer has a navy, no longer has an air force.
I don't think there is a conflict with Venezuela anymore. I thought you took care of that.
No longer has a lot of people that were leading the country into very bad places.
Really?
And
really? Venezuela doesn't, huh? He's reading. He's reading. That's what I don't get. Like, it would be one thing, which wouldn't make it much better, if he was speaking extemporaneously. But he's reading directly off a piece of paper. What? Yeah, that is a certified Biden moment. This is also a certified psycho moment, which is threatening our ally Oman. Or alleged U.S. ally Oman. I mean, they are, quite literally, are one of our Gulf state allies. But fuck them, I guess.
Mr. President, Iran wants control of the Strait of Hormuz. Would you accept a short-term deal that allows Iran and Oman to control the Strait? And would they have to open it immediately, or would you be open to that happening over a period of time?
Did anybody hear that? My thing went through for my other stream. It shouldn't have. Sorry if you heard I love AI. You heard Boris Johnson saying I love AI. I don't know what's going on there. Oh, I'm still getting used to running this OBS up. Every day I am growing stronger though.
Strait's going to be open to everybody. It's international waters. Nobody's going to control it. We're going to watch over it. We'll watch over it, but
no one's going to control it except us. We're going to control it.
Nobody's going to control it. That's part of the negotiation
Good luck.
that we have. They would like to control it. Nobody's going to control it. It's international waters.
Okay, Jack, thank you.
Oman
Great Jack
will
guy,
behave just like everybody else, so we'll have to blow them up. They understand that. They'll be fine.
If Oman doesn't get in line, we have to blow them up. I'd say that's a threat on Oman. I don't know. What do you guys think? What are the oranges for? Spoon?
It also seems the way that Trump deals diplomacy with literally everything is I can't get my way, I'll just bomb it.
Yes. Yeah. Remember, not a neocon. This is a new era of republicanism. We're not just war hawks. They're war hawks with red hats. That's different. And then he just straight up says it's regime change. If it'll load, he says that. Let's try again. Here we go. Oh my god, is it gonna really not? What is wrong with this? Why are you doing this to me? Right now. Here we go.
You know, we didn't set out for regime change, but by the fact that we're dealing with a totally different group of people than we were at the beginning. And frankly, I find them to be much more reasonable. I actually find them to be smarter. But
oh, you can't come into a deal with them, so how much more reasonable can they be than the Ayatollah? Huh?
Quite interesting you say you find them to be smarter when they disagree with you more often.
Yeah. They're going to be more radical than the Ayatollah.
There's a lot.
Considering you killed their leader. They're much more reasonable.
There is a path to peace. I have seen it with my giant worm man powers, much like in later, more bewildering instances of Dune. I see a 1,000-year Jafari Reich.
Let's go.
He is part Hungarian, but we can forgive sins.
I love a good paprikash.
More reasonable. This is regime change. One regime is gone, and
remember,
find the cure
it wasn't
for being
regime
Hungarian.
change. It wasn't regime change. Trump, in his own words, this is regime change. Remember when they denied that a few months ago? Pepperidge Farm remembers, and so do I.
Another regime is gone. We're dealing with the third. Pieces of it, because some of them are gone too. And I find them, I think, how can you have a stronger regime change than that, you know? So I do find that.
I'm reaching a stage now where I'm just sick to death of hearing anything Trump has to say. Like I don't really need the opinion of the king of the Jigsers.
Me too.
Call it what it is.
However,
That's a Jigsaw with a dodgy wig.
I have one last clip from him from this press conference thing today, where he, in addition to saying it is about regime change, it is. He said it in definitive, no nonsense. I don't know how you can get confused about it. Terms. Here's where he also comes down. At the end of the day, at the end of all of his stuff, oh, it's about nuclear weapons, it's about regime change. Going through all of the list of the same excuses over and over as he has for the past 3 months. What it is, at the end of the day, it's about Israel. And Trump's going to tell you for himself, because that's what he comes to at the end of his conclusions. You can give all these other excuses, but at the end of the day, it's for Israel.
If we didn't hit them with the B-2 bombers, Iran would have had a nuclear weapon within 2 weeks from that date.
2 weeks?
They were ready to go.
30
and
years.
If they had a nuclear weapon, it would have been used already. It also would have been used.
So they're Aryans that you're working on black time, aren't they?
But how would it have been used? Donald?
The Obama deal, the Iran nuclear deal, as we call it, that was in my first term. Had I not terminated that, they would have had a nuclear weapon a long time ago.
Well, they would have had one 30 years ago if you hadn't done something, I'm sure, Trump.
I would say it was a guarantee that it would have been used, and it would have blown up Israel, it would have blown up the entire Middle East, and that's never going to happen.
That's never going to happen. It's about Israel. It's about Israel. It always is. It always has been. There has been no other. Everything else is fluff. Everything else is, window dressing, excuses. It's about Israel. I know. Again, that sounds crazy, particularly if you live in a certain kind of bubble with this stuff. But that's what it's about. That is indeed what it is about. All right. What do I have next? What are next? Oh, right. So this is about the shooting. So this was during the peace talks is when this White House shooting happened, and this reporter maybe by accident, revealed that it's exactly during the peace talks with Iran that the shooting at the White House happened that we talked about earlier.
So we're seeing a lot of footage on social media, reporters from other networks doing live shots, as you were doing with us not too long ago, talking, of course, about the other big news of the day, the Iran potential peace deal. Where were you when these shots were fired? Can you take us into those moments and give us an idea of what you were experiencing?
Yeah, so our team was not at the White House anymore. After we talked with you, we were no longer there. Of course, when something like this happens, just as we're seeing this sea of journalists right here, immediately respond and come back to be able to report on the latest as regardless of whatever it might be. So we did hear, of course, those reports of shots fired. We're waiting to still hear more.
Just to be clear, though, the point in playing that is it was during peace deals with Iran that the shooting happened. Very curious. It's very curious that they happened at the exact same time. Peace deals had to get disrupted because of a shooting at the White House. The second one, in as many months, for sure, if not as many weeks, actually. Let's see. Alpha Eagle says, yeah, they didn't intend regime change, but that is the result. Oh, they did intend regime change. Of course it was to get... Khomeini was not amenable to being a puppet of Israel. So, I mean, we've done regime change in Iran before. The United States has. Quite literally. Just did a coup and did a regime change. So, regarding the shooting, suspect killed after opening fire on Secret Service near White House. Suspect, Nazir? I don't know. Best. 21-year-old man, the Met Police Department told BBC, reportedly was known to the police and had a documented history of mental health concerns. We went over that before. Every time we were familiar with him. Yes, we were familiar with him. He was on our radar. We were aware. Weird how that keeps happening. Every single time. Isn't it, guys? But that, because there was a shooting at the ballroom that interrupted the Iran peace deals, is why Trump really needs his ballroom, okay? Israel and the rest of the Middle East, you not hear the second half? Yeah, I heard it after I heard Trump say he's going to go bomb Iran. Yeah, so there's only one ally in the Middle East for Donald Trump, and it is Israel. Trump admin seizes on shooting to make case for White House ballroom. Attorney General Todd Blanche argued in court that the shooting on Saturday in the vicinity of the White House further proves the need for an East Wing ballroom with a heavy steel drone-proof roof, missile-resistant and drone-proof columns, bullet ballistics, and blast-proof glass, among other features. So,
nothing makes you look like a strong, secure leader, quite like a ballroom bunker.
Yeah. It is... The shooting happened at the White House, so let's build a thing at the White House.
I remember in the day when if you were a president or presidential candidate and you got jumped by an assassin, you were expected to pretty much do all the ass beating yourself.
Yeah. In the past, the last time that this happened, it was at a hotel. And so you could at least say, well, that one at least made some cogent sense. Barely, but at least made some cogent sense of, well, we can't do it at that hotel anymore because there's been a shooting incident. So, the ballroom. That's really good, real life walrus. The ballroom, indeed. So that's why I need my ballroom that I've been talking about getting for forever. But now the shooting has been at the White House, and the second one in as many weeks, as I said, and that's why we need the ballroom at the White House. I get that it's super, drone-proof or whatever, but isn't it more obvious that you're all there or something? He just wants this fucking ballroom. It's as a monument to his own hubris. The man built a gold statue of himself that rabbis blessed the other week. Monuments to hubris.
Yay.
What a great segue, Spoon. Thank you so much. Speaking of gays, Trump's going to tell you about how the gays, he gets on so well with the gays. He loves the gays. I love Mexican people. I love homosexual people. And, yeah, that's why he won the election.
Why isn't Nick Fuentes allowed at these conferences?
Indeed. He loves Mexican
so
people.
much.
He loves gay people. And he doesn't love Nick Fuentes. That's okay. Feelings mutual, I believe.
It's so damn unpresidential. And also, darling, when you're leaving and they have that song, the gay national anthem, if you remember.
He's talking about
That's why I did so well with the gay vote, I think, because of that song. I did great with the gay vote, better than any Republican's ever done by far. But my wife, the First Lady, very elegant woman. That's why people love the women went to see that movie 15 times. Okay, ready? She said, darling, don't dare.
What?
No, they didn't.
No, I don't think so.
Movie 15 times. Which
I
one?
thought you said my name, sorry.
One featuring his wife?
I guess, I don't know.
It's not presidential. Don't do the weightlifting thing. It doesn't look good. Don't do the swimming thing. So I'll do the swimming thing, too.
Very popular with the gays. Very popular with the gays. Some others.
See, you can shitpost when you're doing well, but when you're not, you just look deranged.
It looks deranged. Also, what? Okay. Very bizarre. Yahoo Finance requires me to sign a thing before I can read their article.
Yahoo Finance is still a thing?
Yeah. Well, they've got this article, and it was...
Yahoo went under.
No, this is one of the best.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
This article laid it out better than some of the other ones. That's why I picked it. Big Tobacco gave Trump PAC $5 million, and 5 days later, the FDA cleared flavored vapes. You can just buy this guy at this point. I mean, obviously Israel is the one with the deepest pockets, but Big Tobacco is just like, yeah, make sure that people can have their flavored vapes. Then he goes, okay, for $5 million. Which to Trump should be chump change, you would think.
Literally.
Reynolds America cut a $5 million check to MAGA Inc., the main super PAC backing Donald Trump. And 2 days later, top Reynolds executive and 2 company lobbyists had lunch with Trump at his Jupiter, Florida golf club. The 2 executives from the rival tobacco company, Altria, joined them. The tobacco representatives expressed dissatisfaction with the FDA regulations during the meal. According to the New York Times, Trump interrupted the conversation to call... I don't know why the color just changed like that. In order to call FDA Commissioner Dr. Marty Makary. When Makary didn't pick up, Trump dialed HealthSec RFK and Centers for Medicine and Medicaid Services, Dr. Mehmet Oz. 3 people briefed on the meeting told the New York Times that Trump complained to them about the agency's regulation of e-cigarettes. He had lunch with... They donated $5 million to him. They had lunch with him. Within minutes, he's on the phone to Dr. Oz, to RFK, who is not in favor of this stuff, you know, saying, actually, I think we need to get rid of these regulations on e-cigs. After having a meeting and getting $5 million, just $5 million from Big Tobacco. Days after the donation, the FDA issued a new guidance opening the door to flavored vapes, bypassing the agency's normal rulemaking process. A few days after that, Makary resigned, telling associates he could not in good conscience lead an agency that backed such a policy. Timing has Democrats and at least one Republican calling it corruption, while others warn the real losers are American teenagers. Wow, I'm so glad you can laugh about that, essentially. You know, I don't mind people smoking vapes, flavored vapes or whatever. I do it, obviously. But, like, it's so overtly, obviously, in-your-face corrupt. What else could possibly have happened here? Speaking of what's happening here, remember the Board of Peace? What happened with that? Do you remember the Board of Peace, Spoon?
No.
The Board of Peace, that was a thing right before Trump decided to go to war with Iran when he was demanding to be given a Nobel Peace Prize.
I remember that part.
Well, the Board of Peace has raised $0. It has 0 in the bank since being established. Unsurprisingly, the peace president, as Trump called himself, for 8 years, who then started a war with Iran, a war of choice, doesn't have any money in the bank for the Board of Peace. At least for the official Gaza fund is empty despite billions pledged. So, for some reason, despite billions going in, there's no money in the bank for it. Trump's Board of Peace has no cash in its official Gaza Reconstruction Fund, despite member countries pledging billions of dollars, a source familiar with the board told the AFP on Wednesday. Trump first conceded the board to rebuild Gaza, where Israel and Hamas agreed to a US-backed ceasefire in October in a bid to halt 2 years of devastating war. But he quickly raised eyebrows by sending out wide invitations, including to Russian President Vladimir Putin and to countries far removed from traditional Middle East diplomacy. Since the board was set up in October, Its fund, administered by the World Bank and endorsed by the United Nations, has received no money from donors. A source familiar with the Board of Peace told the AFP. Source said the money
Basically, it's not a worthy thing for money laundering.
Other countries have, and the United States, and people in the United States have put billions into this Gaza reconstruction fund, this Board of Peace thing. And yet they're reporting that they don't have a single penny. Where'd all that money go?
Again, where did that money go? Yeah.
Is the question. Where did the money go? Don't know. Went into somebody's pocket. Went into somebody's pocket, but it's not going to go, apparently, towards rebuilding Gaza. That was never a possibility. This is also, the United States said it wouldn't host Iran for the World Cup. That the Iranian team is not allowed to stay in the United States. But they're not going to be safe to stay here either. Because I think we do remember who's in charge of Mexico, which is Sheinbaum, an extreme Israel-friendly Zionist, Claudia Sheinbaum. She said the team's welcome to Mexico since the U.S. told them to fuck off. I'm just saying I wouldn't... Trump said the team would be better off staying elsewhere for their own life and safety. Are you understanding like how crazy this is? It's like, hey, it sounds like gangster shit. Like, if you know what's good for yous, you won't stay in the U.S. And then immediately Mexico, which is run by a Zionist Jewish woman, who's the president of it, is like, yeah, you can stay here. To the Iranian team. Iran, which is at war with Israel. I would not... Don't go to the World Cup, you know, Iranian team. Don't go to the World Cup this year, right? Jeez. The White House is also... This was just kind of a selection of random things I came across over the last week. Reduced to posting complete and utter slop. Complete and utter slop. The White House posts this. Send this to someone who needs to trust in Trump. This is personally...
I will say he looks better in that than he does the red
in
hat.
the hat. This pissed me off. So it's like, you're in your little, you know, WhatsApp groups. Who... I'll tell you why I was flabbergasted by this. I know this is going to seem like a nitpick. But hasn't it been for years the case that conservatives, you know, pro-Trump people have been like, oh, it's so weird how leftists put us on lists and go, oh, you're not acceptable because you don't meet these criteria. You're not in my in group, so I'm going to put you in my little out group box. And yet, this screen demonstrates somebody who's got people put into little boxes. Here's my Doomocrats that I talk to on WhatsApp. Here's my Panicans I talk to on WhatsApp. Here's my Doomers I talk to on WhatsApp. And here's the fake news. Because it's a WhatsApp logo, right? But, no, just,
Which one?
What?
That's not a WhatsApp logo.
It is, isn't it? The little green box? The green speech bubble? It's like WhatsApp to me.
Is it?
Yeah. Pretty sure that's WhatsApp. Isn't it? It's like a green... Oh, it is different. What is that, then? It's like a message... Okay, just a message, then. Just a message thing. Right, WhatsApp is a little phone. Okay, sorry. But it's just a phone... You're right. But it's phone messages, I guess, then. Whatever. It's message groups. And
Signal's blue.
What? The point being that you've put people into little boxes. You've put people into little boxes so that you don't have to actually listen to or think about anything they have to say. Presumably friends, by the way. And you're just categorizing them. Isn't this the stuff you got mad at leftoids for doing? Isn't this the stuff that you castigated them for doing? And I agree, because it's gay and cringe to put people that you know into little boxes. Is it just Messenger? Is it okay? I still find that very...
I do that, though. I put people in two boxes, friend or enemy.
Okay, that's fine, but this is like... Is it?
I'm just shitposting.
Okay, maybe. As I mentioned,
Trump... I'm doing, yes, that is shitposting.
As I mentioned, Trump kept, the United States kept bombing Iran during the entirety of these peace talks. That's not the right thing. I just meant to... Did I click this? Did I do the same thing twice? No, I must have just not copied it.
Trump looks like JBL in this photo.
He does, actually, yeah.
Great heel, by the way. Underrated heel.
So Iran remains in peace talks despite bad faith U.S. bombings of Iranian targets. Tehran condemns definitive violation but announces no specific reprisals as negotiations near a decisive stage. So this was on the 26th. The only reason that The only reason this article from The Guardian, right, believes that they are entering a decisive stage is because Trump said so. But remember, the Iranians said, no, they weren't. They weren't entering a decisive stage. They were nowhere near close. They were working on it, but nowhere near close. And again, just to remind you, that's why I brought this up, is just the United States had been attacking Iran the entire time. The entire time. Well,
it does make you look like an arsehole on the world stage.
Well, in a ceasefire. And Iran didn't retaliate. And I guess, one takeaway from that you could look at is that Iran is very weak, but it could be that they're hoping for minimal attacks during the ceasefire so that they can rebuild their stockpiles of drones and things like that. They can rebuild, focus their forces, take a couple of hits, unfortunately, while the ceasefire is going on before, re-engage in open warfare. The U.S. is wasting resources by doing this during a ceasefire, sporadically, potentially, right? Rather than more concentrated stuff. They're just kind of blowing it and making themselves look terrible on the world stage, which clearly Trump has no issues with whatsoever. What? Can this load? This one's actually really important, Reuters. It might be my night eye thing that's causing these to be messed up. Okay. So, any deal that is to be made with Iran, this freeze. Has the wrong thing been up for like a minute? It has.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering if that was going to change.
I had up the wrong thing, sorry. I had up the wrong window. I don't know how that happened. But I'm having problems with my computer. Sorry, just ignore that. Anyway, here we go. Trump links Abraham Accords to
That is
Iran
a great
deal.
freeze frame from the chap on the right.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's just like... In other words, you have to recognize Israel if you're Iran. Everyone has to recognize Israel, actually. That's what the Abraham Accords are. Because the United States and Israel are clearly the same country at this point. In terms of leadership structure, in terms of who's in charge. Trump said on Monday that he asked Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Pakistan, Turkey, Egypt, and Jordan to join the Abraham Accords en masse to normalize relationships with Israel as he tries to negotiate an agreement to end the war with Iran. Pakistan rejected the proposal. None of the other countries has reacted to the demand, and a positive response was unlikely when the public mistrust of Israel in these Muslim nations remains high over the scale of its military offensive in Gaza.
Trump wonder why.
Yeah. Why would you trust any of
It's
this?
not like it's invading
Lebanon there.
Neighbors.
Yes. Well, yeah, they're currently attacking Lebanon. Trump said on Saturday to leaders of those countries, as well as the UAE and Bahrain, which have already signed the accords, a set of agreements to normalize relationship with Israel, I am mandatorily requesting. What the fuck does that mean, Dawn?
When is a gift not a gift? When it is demanded.
You can't request and mandate. It's gotta be, what the fuck? It's gotta be one or the other. You can't... Okay. That all countries immediately sign the Abraham Accords, and that if Iran signs the agreement with me as President of the United States of America, it would be an honor to also have them be part of this unparalleled world coalition, he wrote in a post on Truth Social. He cited that, quote, all the work by the United States to try and pull this very complex puzzle together. Trump's statement reflected an attempt to use Iran's ceasefire diplomacy for a wider push around the Abraham Accords, according to a Pakistani source familiar with the matter, who also said that the issues were not interlinked and cannot be made so. Pakistan is under no compulsion to adhere to any such demand, the source said. Israeli Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu's office did not immediately respond for requests to comment, obviously. This is about, it talks about Saudi Arabia. They're going to, whatever. But here, okay, right. Egypt and Jordan and Turkey have already have diplomatic relations with Israel. Even those ties have been strained since the start of the Gaza war. Trump said negotiations with Iran were proceeding nicely. That was a fucking lie, but gave no indication a deal was imminent, and then he did, and it wasn't. Longtime Trump ally, Lindsey Graham, embraced the idea of linking Iran to the Abraham...
a long time ally.
Yeah, he was a never Trumper a year ago. Long time Trump ally. The fucking, thank you, Bill, for catching that. The fucking gaslighting in this shit. Longtime Trump ally, Lindsey Graham.
That's why they mention again, like they're mentioning Gaza, they're not mentioning Lebanon. They're not like, this is just fucking Hebraic nonsense.
It is indeed. Oh my goodness.
We'll hear no more of this Talmudic nonsense.
Indeed. Embrace the idea of linking Iran to the Abraham Accords, got that. Others see the strategy as something to make Iran deal more palatable to skeptics. Trump is trying to sell an Iran deal as an Abraham Accords sequel. Good for Israel, good for the region, tough enough for Washington, said Ali Vaez, Iran project director at the International Crisis Group. Yeah, how? How's it good for the region? Stability, because we're all, you know, vassals of Israel, right? I guess? The fuck?
I think.
Indeed. But he is trading one fantasy for another, from forcing Iran to surrender to pretending a fragile deal can anchor a new Middle East order. Indeed. I don't think he was trying to do anything. I just think he was like kind of hoping that Iran would sign the Abraham Accords, which they were never going to do. They were never going to do. All right. It's not just those countries. Everyone has to sign the Abraham Accords, actually. Every country has to. Trump said in this truth post, his truth here, I am mandatorily questioning that all... Oh, this is the same thing. It is the same thing. Was it just those? I thought it was others. I thought it was all countries. No, it was those that were only listed in this. Okay. It was just those listed in this. But listed, again, that we talked about earlier, which is UAE, Bahrain, Morocco, Sudan, Kazakhstan, as well as... what was it? The UAE, already a member, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Pakistan, Turkey, Egypt, Jordan, yeah, Bahrain. Every country in the Middle East has to sign these, essentially. So that was the same thing. However, this is the reason, another reason, at least, why Trump can't make peace with Iran. Besides being seemingly, I mean, like, there are things here that are butting up against each other that are not, neither side can agree to, which is things like the nuclear power, not weapons, but the nuclear power program and their enriched uranium, and getting their money back that's being held by the United States. These are things that they're not going to be able to budge on, at least currently. We'll see where that goes from here. However, Ben-Gvir has said that Israel won't let Trump make a deal with Iran. Take it for what you will. I mean, okay, I'm just gonna mute it so I don't have to hear this. But Minister Ben, do you think it's a bad agreement for Israel, like the one that Trump is likely to bring against Iran, will be harmed in the Gush Yanimid bloc in the upcoming elections? First of all, there's something called the real thing, which is human life. A bad agreement for the state of Israel can harm human life. I know that Prime Minister Netanyahu and all of us as members of the cabinet, both the small cabinet and large cabinet as the government of Israel, cannot allow this to happen. But this is a bad agreement. This is an agreement that can harm the state of Israel, and we will not allow this to happen. A bad agreement will not happen. It cannot happen because in the end, the agreement is bad. It has nothing to do with the elections or with animals or, with all due respect, you. It's bad for Israel, so it will, a agreement between two foreign countries, the United States and Iran, will not happen because it is bad for Israel. And again, you can, I don't know how much exact power Ben-Gvir has over Donald Trump, but Bibi Netanyahu certainly does. So, make it that what you will. Sounds like it doesn't happen unless Israel says so. So Trump has been saying, of course, that, you know, the reason he won't make a deal now is just because, and he's been saying this on and off, their navy's destroyed. He'd mentioned it in that earlier clip. Their navy's destroyed. We've completely wrecked them. We dominated them. And that's why we're not negotiating. I mean, you're also in a ceasefire, and you were negotiating, but then you lie about it and act like you weren't.
We have the strongest military anywhere in the world, as you know. You saw what we did with Venezuela. That worked out very quickly, and we're doing really equally as well with, but again, people don't want to write about it, with Iran. Iran is very much intent. They want very much to make a deal. So far, they haven't gotten there. We're not satisfied with it, but we will be. We will be either that or we'll have to just finish the job. But their Navy is gone, as I've said 1,000 times. Their Navy is gone. Their Air Force is gone.
Keep saying it.
Everything's gone.
That will make it fundamentally different. Yeah, they didn't have a strong Navy in the first place. That'll make it mean something more the 1,001st time you say it, Donald.
On fumes. But we'll see what happens. Maybe we have to go back and finish it. Maybe we don't. Right now.
Go back and finish it. Again, ceasefire, try to make it a deal. We don't need a deal. The concept flip-flopping shit with this. I know, I talk about the Iran stuff a lot because as a political nut, I'm always interested in this kind of stuff. But we really have been on a repeat here for months. It is very fucking gay.
I mean, you can speak to Steve Witkoff and Jarrett. They're doing a good job, but
Why
right
would
now,
we
I
do
think,
that? They're Israeli assets.
It looks like they want to just make a deal. They want to. They have. I don't think they have a choice. They're just going back to the internet because they're getting clobbered. Their economy is in free fall.
How's the U.S. economy doing, by the way? It's not been great. The cost of oil, cost of gas, it's bad now. It's going to get way worse when the longitudinal results of that fertilizer shortage happen across the world, by the way. Because although maybe it doesn't affect the United States so much, it affects a lot of countries that the United States imports goods from as well. Everyone will get hit. Everyone will get hit by the increased price of producing goods, by plastics that are made made via oil, by the cost of fertilizer that has gone up. It will hit everyone. I realize I missed these, by the way. Solon Lich, who's been a member for 7 months, says, please, U.S. Congress, do the whole world a solid and make summon Ethan Klein, Nux Taku, more Pegasus, and Bipkin Bippa. Thank you, Solon. I'm sorry I missed that before. Let's see. I got that. So, Tulsi Gabbard has resigned amid all of this chaos.
That's not a surprise.
No. She seemed to have some degree of integrity, so she's resigned. She says, whoops, okay. She says it is because of her husband's illness. I don't know, though. I don't know if that's actually why.
I don't believe that.
I don't either. But she says he's been recently diagnosed with an extreme form of bone cancer. Very sad. He faces major challenges in the coming weeks and months. At this time, I must step away from public service and be by his side and fully support him through this battle. I don't believe it, though, either. I agree with you, Spoon. I don't believe it. At least I'm very suspect. That's why. Because, I'll tell you why. It's because they immediately, of course, looked at replacing her, but also because of posts like this in response to her resignation from Laura Loomer. Thank God Tulsi Gabbard resigned. This is how the Iranian embassy talks about her. They love her. All of our enemies love Tulsi Gabbard. She talks a nice talk with the military shtick, but you have to wonder why Russia and Iran love Tulsi Gabbard. Disgraceful. No, you're disgraceful.
People don't like war, you fucking psychotic moron.
Well, she loves it because she's never going to have to sacrifice anything for it. No wonder all of President Trump's intel reports have been trash. She prepared them. As a Hindu, she should know better. What the fuck does that mean, by the way?
What the hell does that have to do with anything?
What does that mean? As a, like, what, because the Hindus and Muslims don't get on? Or is that why?
Well, they do, maybe that's why.
The fuck does that mean? So the Iranian embassy just says, we wish Abraham, by the way, talking about her husband having bone cancer, we wish Abraham a swift and complete recovery. You have previously shown at times that you work for America and not Israel. And sometimes you spoke truths about Iran that Trump hated. It was a pity that someone like you worked with this government, which has sidelined America.
What?
That is the Iranian embassy saying anything insane like that casts aspersions on Tulsi Gabbard? I think it's that you work for America, not Israel, personally offended Laura Loomer, right? Because she works for Israel, of course. I mean, that's not in question. And
so
here,
they're basically just congratulating her for actually doing her job.
The Iranian embassy was, yes.
Yes.
And Laura Loomer and the conservatives are celebrating. So, here's her possible replacement. Elise Stefanik, possible successor, ongoing director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard.
How do you feel about Israel?
Would you like to know?
Yes,
I'm so glad you asked about Elise. I'm so glad you asked about Elise Stefanik, Spoon, because I got a clip here for you. As soon as it loads up, here she is. Here's Elise. Here's Elise Stefanik.
Oh, it's a fucking woman.
Yeah, Elise. Here she is. Do you see these men behind her?
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Let's have a listen to Elise, shall we?
Thank you so much. It is truly an honor to be here. Let me begin by thanking my friend, Dr. Adelson, not only for her beautiful introduction, but for her extraordinary example to all of us fighting for America, the Jewish people, and for Israel. You are, in every sense, a true Maccabee warrior. Her life's work, from healing patients as a doctor,
okay, stop. I've had enough. Just fuck off.
Here you go. Here's your replacement for Tulsi Gabbard. Gee, I wonder why. I wonder why Tulsi had to resign. I wonder why this... No, by the way, not necessarily, but this woman's fast-tracked. She's going to be in.
By the way, see, this kind of shit, this is why Fuentes is saying, if I will support a Democrat if it means getting rid of this cunt. Like, just like, all of this shit is completely fucking toxic.
If you... the thing with, like, the let's vote for Democrats is that they're the same. They're also owned by the Israel lobby, you know?
No, we know that.
Speaking
but I think that's the more important thing than people who focus on the fact that, oh, look, oy vey.
Indeed. No, yeah, I do agree in that sense. The Democrats are more willing to at least pretend to oppose Israel. The Democrats, or excuse me, the Republicans, no, very, very few of them. And then you get Republicans who do oppose Israel, who do oppose excessive Israeli lobbying and power of the United States, and they get deposed from, you know, in elections where their opponents are funded by AIPAC with an enormous amount of money that they couldn't possibly hope to compete with, like Thomas Massey. He'd been in that seat for what, like 16 years or something? Second he starts something like that.
14 years.
14.
We would a flawless track record.
Flawless track record. You know, really one of the most respected people in that sense in Congress, and actually, is it Congress or the Senate? Now I've gotten it fucked up. In the U.S. government, in terms of his integrity. And he didn't take money from AIPAC. AIPAC drops millions of dollars to support his opponent. His opponent wins, and Thomas Massey's gone. That's what they do. They just get rid of you. Speaking of being replaced, by the way, as Tulsi Gabbard was, Fox News has debunked Maskgate. Oh, goody, they've debunked it for us. I'm so excited. Interview theories after Admiral appears to be wearing a prosthetic mask. Did he just appear to be, or fucking is he? So this was a weird thing that happened the other day. This guy, his name is, where is it? Vice Admiral Robert Harward, was nothing more than a bad shadow from the show's lights. Does this look like a bad shadow? Does it look like... Let me pull up a video of him talking so you can actually see it. Make it his name here. It really, really looks like a mask, right? This does just have pictures. But, like, you can see the rubber flap and this whole just... Oh, it's just a trick. Don't believe your lying eyes. It's just a trick of the light, right? There's nothing weird going on here at all. Here's the actual clip. I think so, at least.
Internet sleuths have come up with the wild theory.
Look, you can...
Look! It's moving, clearly! Okay, thank you, New York Post. That is a mask. What? How the fuck is this a trick of the light? Because, by the way, like, this guy's been on camera about a month ago and didn't have this weird neck flap.
The adhesive has just come off.
Yeah.
Because you can see at the edges where it's meant to be, like, sealed on.
Yeah.
But it's pulled away. And chances are that button was meant to be done all the way up, and it wasn't meant to show the black undershirt.
Yeah.
And also you can tell by the...
There he is.
By
there
the
he is.
eyes, it looks weird.
Just weeks ago. Does it even look like... Does it even look like the same guy? I mean, it looks like a mask. So there's the same guy weeks ago.
High cheekbones, long jaw.
There he is again, weeks ago.
Speaks with his jowls.
And yet all of a sudden, yeah, his face looks like...
Take it back to the original one.
Now he looks like this.
He looks like Ryan Gosling in a bad mask.
Versus this.
Eyes are completely different spacing. Let's go back to the other one. I want to see the nose.
That's not the same guy. That's a mask. I mean, it's so clearly a mask. But of course, it's been debunked. It's been debunked because Fox News said it's the lighting.
The lighting puts an inch between your friggin' eyes?
I guess. It puts a big gap between your neck like that. Well, I've got a thing about this guy from a couple months ago. Retired Admiral gives military perspective on U.S.-Israel attacks on Iran. And by the way, the thing he was talking about in that interview, in particular, was about, you know, we need to keep up the war with Iran. We need to support Israel. I'm just going to Control F here. How many times? Any thoughts, Admiral, about the division of labor and who would be hit? Fuck off. There's a lot we don't know. It seems like it's becoming clear that it was an Israeli strike, not an American strike. I think they're talking about, at this time, oh, they're talking about Soleimani. This is what I want to bring up. I think it's clear not only in the military offensive capability, but also in intelligence that we are tied together with Israel. We are working in a coordinated, synchronized fashion to realize the best and most of our capacity and our capabilities. And I think more importantly, that's going to play out in the intelligence on the ground and what happens next and how this transition happens. Say more about the intelligence on the ground. Is your understanding that U.S. intelligence would have been helping to inform Israel's actions? Vice versa. I think it's a two-way street, says Harward. Both had their own networks and their own systems. I think they've synchronized. They've synchronized them and are working collectively to go through that not only maximize the targeting, but the messaging to the salvageable parts of the Iranian government, be it the Artesh, that, hey, there's our chance for you guys to turn on the IRGC and be part of the future of Iran. So I have to believe that all of those efforts are ongoing as we speak, would help to accelerate a very minimal blood as we work towards transition. This guy mentioned, I mean, they do talk about Israel a lot here. And I do wonder if it has something to do, like this guy, did he get replaced? Did it have something to do with him talking about Israel a couple of weeks before this, and then all of a sudden he disappears? Was he starting to push back on some of this shit? I don't know. He's here 3 months ago, talking about how, you know, they're distinct operations. They're not, you know, we're bestie buddies. I'm trying to figure out what it is that this guy said that got him replaced, essentially. I don't know. But that certainly was not him on that Fox News interview. Certainly was not him. Or if it was, he was wearing a mask of himself, or something really weird was happening. Mike Huckabee has some things to say about Israel, speaking of.
He has really bad acne problems.
Does he? Mike Huckabee?
I don't know. No, not Huckabee, the guy with the wearing mask.
Oh, maybe. Here's Huckabee. Oh my god, okay. So here he is saying that
insufferable Israeli shield of the point.
He really is. And it's kind of like, this is, look, if you think that, oh, Jewish people have excess influence, power, money over the United States government, well, here Mike Huckabee is to assuage your fears that yes, they do, and it's a good thing.
Their projects, I got to realizing I'm meeting some of the future billionaires of Israel. Some of these young people, maybe they're 15, 16, 17 now, but give them just probably a very short period of time, and in their 20s, we'll all be wanting to borrow money from some of them.
In 5 years, 10 years, we'll all be wanting to borrow money from some of them. By the time they're 25. The young entrepreneurs of Israel. Dude, what are you... This is at a conference in Israel. The Building Climate Breakthroughs E44 Ventures or something. Sponsored by the Ayn Rand Center in Israel.
Yeah, of course.
So I want to go ahead and get their names and phone numbers now.
Can I put you in my Rolodex, please, so you pay me? Can you pay me money, please? Trust me, I'm Mike Huckabee. I'm a massive fucking sellout. You can buy me for next to nothing. I love shilling for Israel. And, as I mentioned earlier, there has been a ramp up in the, if this will load, thank you, Times of Israel, ramp up in, as ordered by Netanyahu, intensifying the blows against Hezbollah amid surge in drone strikes. This is in Lebanon, of course. Israel will escalate strikes against Hezbollah in Lebanon. PM Netanyahu said on Monday evening, news official said the terror group had ignored warnings to halt firing at Israel in a conflict. Israel started bombing Lebanon. And then it's always this stuff. It's like, hey, stop shooting at us. Stop shooting at us. And they're like, well, no, we're in a conflict. Then they go, okay, well, we're going to bomb the shit out of you. Now we're going to escalate it, of course. All of this, and the reason I bring this up is because months ago now, or at least a month ago, Trump told them to knock it off. He said, he tweeted about it, or truth about it, is that Israel's going to knock off attacking Lebanon. That, to me...
I think in the ceasefire.
Yes. That was a condition of the ceasefire. That, to me, it was a while ago, though. He said that, you know, Israel has to stop attacking Lebanon. Who is in power then? Who is really in charge? Do you feel in charge? Huh? You know, Trump says, Israel, stop. Netanyahu, stop. Stop attacking Lebanon. You gotta cut it the fuck out while we're working on these deals with Iran. They've not stopped. In fact, they're gonna ramp it up. Who is in charge in that situation? Who is the master and who is the slave? Trump says, don't do it. Bibi does it. No consequences. You know, no more. I don't think Trump's come out and complained about it again. Because in fact, he said it's cool. He's changed his mind. He's flip-flopped on it, even though he told them they had to stop doing this shit. He's had a change of heart. And now, actually, whatever. I think, here it is right here, yep. Netanyahu said in a call with President Trump on Saturday that Trump, this is according to, you know, Netanyahu, Trump reaffirmed Israel's right to defend itself against threats on every front, including Lebanon. So, I mean, you certainly can't believe Netanyahu, but you could maybe believe him about the shit that Trump tells him. I don't know. And according to Netanyahu, Trump said, yeah, bombs away, right? They're a threat to you, so, have at it. Actually, you know, the Lebanese should be, in reality, thanking the Israelis for bombing them, because they're so, you know, they don't have any, they're not gracious. They don't know how to really respect their betters who've given them cherry tomatoes, or what is it? It's something really yeah, cherry tomatoes. Here's back to Mike Huckabee, of course. We should all let Israel bomb us and control our countries, because they gave us cherry tomatoes. Which I don't think is
true. But Black Dynamite, Israel does bomb and control your country.
Indeed, right?
USS Liberty.
Yeah, indeed, Laughing Cavalier. Let me defend myself, invades another country. Yeah, exactly.
I wonder if everyone in Lebanon understands that.
But you defended yourself from someone who was black, prison forever.
Yeah,
million years dungeon.
Just let him cook here for a minute. The absolute audacity of this Enwa. These people are being bombed. They're being attacked. They're being killed. They have a significant Christian population, by the way. And Mike Huckabee is I think he's an evangelist of some sort. He's certainly a Christian, but he's certainly a Christian. It's like 30% of 30 to 40% of Lebanon is Christian. They're killing Christians, Mike. Don't you care? No. In fact, he's going to tell you why. He's going to tell the Lebanese why it's good for them. Again, I was flabbergasted by this.
I wonder if everyone in Lebanon understands that if there were no Israel, they wouldn't have a cell phone. I wonder if they understand.
I don't think that's true. That's not true. So at all. He's telling people who are being slaughtered. Oh, what's your problem with Israel? Didn't you wouldn't have a cell phone if it weren't for Israel? Which is not
listen,
true.
I've seen the pages from there. I don't want them either.
Yeah, I believe he's a Protestant hyperwave. I think so. Yeah. I mean, I presume so from his behavior.
That every time they use a USB, every time they use car navigation, that every time they eat a cherry tomato or have a delicious bite of.
Look at wow.
Cherry tomatoes are traditionally grown.
I'm just saying this woman certainly got a physiognomy on her.
Seedless watermelon.
Oh, a seedless
watermelon.
Instead
of saying I can't talk to those people, they should step across the border, shake the hands, and say, "Thank you."
Indeed, I am. I'm also wish he had dropped a pager joke, glow in the dark. Yes, succubus vibes, indeed.
Thank you for helping create some
I made a
things
page
that
joke.
have
Fuck
made
y'all.
Yeah. Oh, you did.
Life better and easier.
But I think you meant Huckabee didn't. Good lord. Wow. I know they're getting bombed to shit, but they should be real thankful for their cherry tomatoes. And their USBs. Would Dominic Bites... That's a dangerous game you're playing there, sir. It's a dangerous game. So, again, it's not just military targets, right, that Israel's attacking in Lebanon, nor has it been since the start, but they're attacking their water reservoirs, right? The ability of people in Lebanon to have clean drinking water. This is irrigation. This is a war crime, by the way. But Israel's used to that, so that's par for the course for them.
They'd argue that there was no war formally declared, therefore.
Therefore. Yeah, I also agree. It is potentially an act of genocide, but it is certainly a war crime. So, at some point, yeah, other countries also
Who are you going to find in The Hague to prosecute him?
France, actually. Thank you. What a fantastic segue. European countries condemn Israeli minister over alleged mistreatment of flotilla activists. So,
taking money.
I mean, unfortunately, this was this gay little Free Palestine flotilla, but they did abuse the shit out of these people, because of course they did. France has banned Israel's far-right national security minister, Itamar Ben-Gvir, from entering the country, joining a growing number of European countries to denounce Israel's alleged abuse of the activists from the global Sumud flotilla, many of whom returned in recent days to their home countries after being detained last week by Israel attempting to deliver aid to Gaza. Last week, Ben-Gvir posted on social media a video of himself. Oh yeah, dude. I meant to have this. Yeah, I knew it was linked in here. This is fucking crazy. Welcome to Israel, says Ben-Gvir. This is them. Now, by the way, there was like an AI image that was going around, or maybe it was a video. I did see some of it where it was them like spitting on people and all kinds of stuff. It was very graphic, but it wasn't this. This is the real footage, though. Here.
Free, free Palestine!
Whoa, loud. Oh. I mean, to be fair, I also find these people insufferable. But look at how happy he is. Look at how just jovial Ben-Gvir is to arrest these annoying leftoids.
Listen, never let how cringe some of the other people who hate Israel are stop you from hating Israel.
Indeed. Isn't it
people you hate
fucking creepy that they also have them... I know that don't you normally put their hands behind their back? But they all have them in bowing positions. I don't know, it's very strange the way that they've got them all organized here. It's just me. What do you guys think? Spoon, bidu. I find it odd they've got them bowing like this in both instances. You see what I mean? At least here their hands are behind their back. At least one, but only one. Or two. Two guys.
These are how you would detain people in like how SWAT would detain people.
Yeah.
Well, this is for like an active, like.
It's a control tactic. Ardent says it's a control tactic. Yeah, I guess just put their heads on the ground. Yeah, I do get that, but normally they.
It's something to do with Israel. Of course, it's a control tactic.
I guess they you know, you wouldn't want to waste any precious money on those little plastic handcuffs, Goyim. It's just too expensive.
They are cuffed.
Are they cuffed in the front?
Some of them are.
Yeah, some of them are. But I mean, normally, again, you would have their hands behind their back.
Look at middle, bottom left, next to that orange shoe.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, I see it there. Odd, huh? Oh yeah, he's cuffed. Okay. Look how happy he is, Ben-Gvir. He's so ecstatic. El Salvador does it for the same reasons, control. Okay, yeah. He's so excited. God. So Francis said, "Fuck off. You can't. No, we're not going to deal with you like the way you've treated."
As I recall, someone high up's like daughter or something is in that flotilla.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Video himself taunting flotilla activists that were detained by Israeli forces as they were headed to Gaza in an attempt to break Israel's naval blockade. Well, that's very stupid and silly. These people are very silly and stupid, and they're not to be taken seriously, and so when you handle them with anything other than kid gloves, you look terrible. Because these people in particular, they're a bunch of hippies, right? You know, peaceniks. Video includes a clip of Ben-Gvir waving an Israeli flag over the detainees, who appear to be hunched over on the ground with their hands bound, and a clip of him smiling and chanting Yisrael Chai for the nation of Israel lives at detainees. The clip showed detainees. We watched it. We saw it. As of today, Itamar Ben-Gvir is banned from entering French territory. This decision follows his unspeakable actions towards French and European citizens who were passengers on the global Sumud flotilla. French Foreign Minister Jean-Noël Barrot posted on X. "We cannot tolerate that French nationals can be threatened, intimidated, or brutalized in this way. I can't do it, I can't do it. They were by a public official." Israeli Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu.
French accent?
What?
Supposed to do a
French accent?
Yeah. Is it bad?
Okay.
It's a Quebecois accent.
No, at least I could actually tell it was French. So.
It's not French, it's Quebecois.
It's Quebecois, because it's only one, because of after many years of making fun of JF. After many years of making fun of JF, it's all I can do. Condemn Ben-Gvir's actions on Wednesday.
He's actually had really base takes on the Iran
war. He has, unfortunately, he killed his wife, I'm pretty sure, and I can't...
Yeah, but I don't really care as far as the Iran war goes.
He did a heavy lift to Epstein.
Like that.
He did have ties to
right?
Epstein as well.
Okay.
I don't know.
More
That
importantly,
doesn't mean the
he's from
analysis.
Quebec. He deserves to die.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck. Oh my god. I'm noticing that my hair
Fucking
looks fucking terrible in this heat.
Parisians.
Do you guys want me to keep the camera on or could I turn it off? We're quite far into it. Like
Oh, I assume that you turned that shit off like an
I
hour
didn't.
in.
No, I've had it on the whole
Yeah.
time. My hair has become retarded looking from this heat. So I think I'm gonna turn it off so I don't have to.
I was assuming we would be on like starting to wind down.
Yeah, well we are. Okay. That's why I am winding down a little bit. I'm turning off my camera for a bit. Sorry guys. My hair has become retarded from this heat, which is starting to turn it into it's like turning up at the ends. I kept noticing in the viewfinder. When I looked over at the OBS thing, I was like, why is my hair like I'm having a hair moment, okay?
Oh no, this podcast that 90% of people listen to rather than watch would be so negatively affected that they can't see the fucking seagull on camera.
Seagull? Rude. Oh, it feels nice to sit back
Which
too.
pelican?
Anywho, by the way, I did get a bird costume, like I talked about. I did get a. I'm gonna wear it on the science stream. I did get a bird costume. I'll probably do it this Sunday.
It's always great to see the new tech show turn into a fucking pageant in the first month.
It's science and tech, okay? And we keep talking about birds. So yeah, and it's the second month now. We've entered our second month. Second month, go check it out. Also, by the way, sorry, very late in the stream to announce this, but I will have a new video out this weekend, I believe, on the main channel here on Aiden Paladin, and I think I will have a new. Huh?
Did you get it back yet?
Yeah, it's been back. It's been back. But
Oh, okay.
I was waiting
Finally.
to get a sponsor for it, honestly, because I had been communicating with sponsors. One of the ones I thought it was turned out to be the hackers, or I was like just talking to them, and again they use a QR code to fuck my shit up. I'm not reiterating. My point being, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find a sponsor in the time before I'm gonna want to get this out. So I might just, but it's best to release videos on weekends. So I'm gonna release it on the weekend, this upcoming weekend, I believe. And also in the next week, probably in the next couple of days, I will have a new Substack article, so be on the lookout for that, which is going to be on the wisdom or madness of crowds. And the whole idea that if people get together collectively, they can make better decisions. Well, sort of,
That's
but you gotta
a bunch
be
of crap.
you gotta be, well, maybe not collectively, but if you aggregate everyone, you take like the answers from everyone, eventually you'll find the right answer. That's kind of the hypothesis,
Pimps
right?
on fucking typewriters.
The mean of the crowd will be correct. I know that Spoon, you and I are prone to automatically go that's bullshit, but it's been a truism that's been passed around for about 15, 20
Of course,
years
the
now.
field of communication has to belabor the fucking point of something that is obvious to anyone with eyeballs.
No, but I want to prove it empirically, and I have. Well, I didn't do it, but I'm using other people's research to do it, right? So, ministers did not comment on the broader allegations of abuse of the 428 detainees by Israeli forces. The Israel prison service told media outlets that allegations of abuse are false. We just saw them. Time reached out to Netanyahu's office and the Israeli prison service for comment. I'm guessing they didn't respond. Flotilla detainees allege Israeli abuse. Israel forces intercepted the 50-boat flotilla in international waters. So it wasn't even their waters, around 250 miles off the coast of Israel, beginning on May 18th. Those on board the flotilla included activists, we know that, etc. Detainees described experiencing abuse and torture by Israeli forces to the Associated Press. These descriptions included being physically beaten, dragged by the hair, we saw that, attacked by dogs, tased. Oh, all of Hasan right there. Dogs. Tased. Fuck. And verbally humiliated. Other detainees alleged sexual
I'm glad we could bring
assault.
things back to the sexual deviant Turkish retard when we're talking about Israel torturing prisoners.
And sexually assault. Well, you know. Dogs. Tased.
Sexual assault.
And yes, that's not funny. Well, not being attacked with dogs or being tased either, but I found Hasan in this article. Other detainees allege sexual assault, including humiliating strip searches, sexual taunting, groping, pulling of the genitals, multiple accounts of rape. Fuck. Israel Prison Service broadly denied allegations of abuse. There was one thing that, you know what?
Flotilla they picked up in international waters, not in their own.
Yeah, you know, I wasn't going to show this because
I would just
it is
categorize this
relevant,
as piracy.
Mhm.
This is the shit that like Philippine gangs used to get shit for, and got Somalia knocked over 3 times.
Would you guys take this for a moment from here while I find this other tweet related to the rape? From starting here, please.
Italian lawmaker Delaval said, "Fucking, this is up there with Denis Villeneuve, fucking bullshit."
Yeah, whatever. Sorry, don't worry about
fucking
it. Pronounce it wrong on purpose.
Said the flotilla activists that returned to Italy reported incidents of public exposure in handcuffs and chains, physical and psychological violence, degrading treatment and violations of human dignity. Italian prosecutors are reportedly investigating possible crimes of kidnapping, torture and sexual assault against the activists. Guess what? That's what it is. It's piracy. A German foreign ministry spokesperson told Reuters that consular officials reported that activists returning to Germany had injuries and that the ministry expects a full explanation.
So I gotta scroll through my bookmarks.
5 French activists had been hospitalized in Turkey, some with broken ribs or fractured vertebrae, Reuters reported. The detainees, hailing from more than 40 countries, had all been deported, according to Israel's foreign ministry, over the 2 years of war between Israel and Hamas, so Israel and the people they funded.
Yes.
And the fragile ceasefire that has been in effect since October. Israeli forces have intercepted multiple political missions, detained and... Okay, I was...
Sorry. I forgot it was on the wrong screen. I'm sorry.
I want everyone to see the amount of times I get my fucking ankles kicked out.
No, it was me. No, it was me. I'm sorry. It was an accident. I'm sorry.
Deported the activists on board, including the climate... Greta Thunberg and other activists are also alleged abuse and captivity at the hands of the Israeli forces, which Israel previously denied.
This is what I wanted to show you guys, though. Thank you, Bill. I again didn't put this in the list, but so Aiden here, not me, Aiden Haken says, have you tried not making rape part of your identity? This to some Middle Easterner, I presume. Which it probably was to Junior. This account, like he had a complete. He is a Muslim Palestinian. He had a complete spurg out when he got his money cut. His money from X cut recently for being a slop poster. However, good on you, Junior, for finding this tweet from Aiden Haken. When I was in the IDF, we raped.
Okay, hang on. Before we continue, Ethan Ralph voice. You don't want to get clipped.
Oh, right. You're right. When I was in the IDF, we raped. So, of course I did it too. It was just a normal thing. I don't think I did anything wrong. The Arab I enjoyed, I think she was maybe 14. That wasn't a very good Ethan Ralph. But, yeah, thank you.
And the content of it seems to be on point.
It does seem on point, and thank you for reminding me so I didn't read that in my normal voice. Fucking sick.
Also, the guy who plays Frenchie in The Boys is another member of the IDF who boasts about raping people, especially young girls.
Fucking disgusting, bro. Ugh. So the EU is considering sanctions. No. EU is considering sanctions. France joined Poland, which announced a 5-year entry ban on Ben-Gvir. Democratic world, we do not abuse and gloat over people in custody, said Polish Foreign Minister and Deputy Prime Minister Radoslaw Sikorski. You may not treat Polish citizens who have committed no crime in this way. And that Ben-Gvir is a chauvinist, gay, and attention seeker, and that he is a threat to public order in Poland. The UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and Norway have already imposed a travel ban on Ben-Gvir last year, as well as Israeli Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich last year, accusing the ministers of inciting violence against Palestinians in the occupied West Bank. Italy also formally asked the EU to weigh sanctions against Ben-Gvir, with France, Ireland, Spain, and other European nations backing the request. Delaval said on Thursday that he and dozens of other members of the EU Parliament had called for penalties, I don't know if I'm pronouncing Delaval, by the way, correctly, for Ben-Gvir and others responsible for the abuse. The images released by Israeli Minister Ben-Gvir are terrifying. Men and women surrounded by armed soldiers, forced to listen to the Israeli anthem after, I mean, that's surely, that is a war crime. That's, you know, after being stopped in... well, of course there is. Being stopped in international waters, scenes we never wanted to see in 2026. Several countries, including France, Italy, the Netherlands, Poland, and Canada, have also summoned their Israeli ambassadors over the alleged mistreatment. Others have expressed formal diplomatic protests. The detentions, as well as Israel's earlier interceptions of Gaza-bound flotillas in international waters, have raised questions around what actions are legally permissible to enforce a blockade. And it does, oh, this is fucking crazy. Speaking of France and Israel. I want to get off this stuff. I'm sorry, we've been on this for a long time. Do you guys want to move on to something other than this? I mean,
Yes, please.
Okay. A French judge who issued an arrest... who issued an arrest warrant against Netanyahu at the criminal court, Nicolas Goyu, reported that his Visa and Visa and MasterCard have blocked all of his cards. He has been debanked. This is the guy who called for Netanyahu to be arrested. He has been debanked.
I wonder why.
Yeah, well, I think we all fucking know why, don't we? Alright, let me get rid of all this. Let me put a big strike through on it, in case I want to come back to it next week. Anywho, let's shift. Let's shift, orientations a little bit. So, this is the best way I can think of to translate between topics. Wah, Massey, he's an anti-Semite. He's bad. The Wall Street Journal says, from the Wall Street Journal, free. After losing primary, oh, this is actually a free one. Kentucky Fried Clown. After losing a primary election Thursday night, Thomas Massey peddled the oldest anti-Semitic trope in the book, that conniving Jews hold secret power. No, he said that AIPAC funded his opponent to the tune of millions of dollars, which they did, demonstrably.
Yes. They bragged about it.
They did. Now, I have this, but UK edition, by the way. Restore Britain faces anti-Semitism outrage, but rivals to reform insist they won't police their membership. This has been the new thing, is you got to get rid of all this person and that person from Restore. You have to get rid of anybody that we accuse of being an anti-Semite. And I got a clip from Tommy Robinson. Is particularly who they want gone is Steve Laws there. Fucking A. Keeps zooming around. Steve Laws here. They really don't like him, obviously. Restore Britain was told last night to address urgently claims of anti-Semitism among high-profile supporters and officials. The hard-right rivals to Reform UK, on course to help Labour candidate Andy Burnham, No, you know who's on course to not help Andy Burnham win the Makerfield by-election was Keir Starmer. Member of his own party. Starmer, I'll get to it. Starmer, who is like radioactive right now, he's toxic as hell. He showed up to endorse Andy Burnham. In a clear, at least to me, clear intention to sink his odds. But the party, it's not for like 3 weeks, I think, or 2 weeks. When's the Makerfield election, right? It's not for a few weeks, I don't think. Election. When is that? It's not for weeks. 2026, oh, July 4th. Okay. Oh, good. Okay, it's on July 4th. Alrighty. Where was I? Let's see. The party led by Rupert Lowe failed to disavow statements that included calling for the deportation of Jews and insinuations that Nigel Farage has been bought by Jewish money. Oh, heaven forbid. One of the party's highest profile
He was.
He was, yeah. Highest profile supporters, far-right activist Steve Laws, runs a group campaigning for the total deportation of those with non-white heritage from Britain. Based, but it's not going to happen, unfortunately. Based to have the goals.
Not with that attitude.
One of the earliest backers of Restore has repeatedly encouraged his 140,000 followers on X to get involved in campaigning for the party. This weekend, he sparked outrage after interview comments emerged of him calling for the removal of Jews from Britain, whom he branded foreign. Mr. Laws has also branded Adolf Hitler a misunderstood politician and cast doubt on the true number murdered in the Holocaust. It's just, it's always the same shit every time,
Too few.
Right?
There's your accurate answer.
Oh my god, it's so many. It's every time it's the same shit. Earlier this month, Mr. Laws said he and his supporters are helping to build Restore, adding that Restore is the vehicle to build a better future for our people. It's a simple. Oh, that is very close to a Hitlerism, to be fair, or at least a 1488 one. You know, it's as simple as that. That's why I support them. Let's see. Yesterday, the party failed to condemn his deportation comments, arguing, "We're not going to police our membership." Based. I do, however, think you maybe police it just a little bit. Maybe police it just a little bit, but I'll get to that. I'll get to that. Tommy Robinson. I'm just gonna compare and contrast. Look, we're not going to police our membership for saying deport every, you know, non-white, non-Brit from England, as Steve Laws says, who's questioned the numbers of the Holocaust and stuff. Meanwhile, here's Tommy Robinson.
Wait until you see the diversity of our crowd. You'll see many Sikhs, many Hindus,
wonderful,
many Persians, many Jews, many blacks, many. Bring in Sikhs, bring in Hindus, yeah? Bring in Filipinos,
Bring in people who will integrate,
Thank you, Tommy.
and work. Open your borders to Hindus or Sikhs. This town will never be English again. Say that out loud. All the history of Luton Town, this is now an Islamic town.
And if this were a Sikh town, would you have the same problem?
I wouldn't have a problem, no.
Tell me why.
No, because the Sikh community integrate, assimilate, and they work very hard. There's no dominating gang.
I would have...
Stab that guy to death.
What the fuck? I would have no problem if this is a Sikh town.
They're not
Here's an idea. Yeah, Hebrew fucking... And Robbie, Sikh fucking Jesus.
Yes.
In fact, they integrate and they feel and they become British.
Wait till you see the diversity.
Here's Tommy Robinson. It is Tyler Oliveira. I believe it is. Oh my god. Yeah, replacement migration is fine as long as you love Israel, essentially. That's... yeah. Rupert Lowe's Restore... This article is just insane. We're running a bit late, so I don't know how much I'm going to get to it, but this article is just crazy. It's a cult causing havoc in the UK's far right. As Searchlight explained, British fascism is split in several directions when it comes to elections. Some have always rejected the very notion of electoral politics. I don't know if I want to read this. This article just gave me a... It gave me a chuckle earlier. Of just... It's emblematic and exemplary of the kind of hit pieces of all their anti-Semitic, all their racist. Oh, there we go. Leading racist in charge with Hugh Anthony, Steve Laws, and Callum Barker, all at home in Restore. Steve Laws, his fellow anti-Semite Sam Wilkes, Zoomer historian, native Gurn, by the way, I'll remind you, have signed up with Lowe. Oh no, how terrible. Fucking God. Part of their team, part of their circle are from Homeland's great rival patriotic alternative, Britain's largest Nazi organization. PA's leader, Mark Collette, nice guy, haven't spoken to him in a while, chooses not to register his group as a political party because he doesn't want an accountable constitution or transparent the whole article is just, look how long this is. But I wanted to bring up this guy. Here he is, Scott Benton. Right? Latest row. With their usual keenness to spot conspiracies, some of Colette's own allies, notably the ultra-conspiracist Unity News Network, Unity News Network, by the way, is a ultra-pro-reform outlet, okay? Not ultra-conspiracist, it is ultra-pro-reform, and that's why they have criticisms of Lowe and Restore. These criticisms grew after elements of Restore's national leadership banned a young racist... Saskia Wickham from speaking at a Restore Youth Conference. No sooner, oh my god, this article. No sooner had that row been smoothed over than new ones exploded. Scott Benton, former Tory MP from Blackpool South, resigned in disgrace in March 2024 after the Commons Standards Committee found that he had committed a very serious breach of lobbying rules by agreeing to work for what he thought was a group from the gambling industry, but were in fact undercover journalists. So he's a retard. During his conversations with those undercover journalists, the committee had found Benton...
Very subtle, by the way.
found that Benton conveyed the message that he was corrupt and for sale, and that so were many other members of the House. So I do have a problem with this guy. I don't have a problem with the racists, obviously. And all these claims, anti-Semite, racist, blah, 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 blah. Throw a fucking star at you.
Back up. Let me see his physiognomy.
Well, we're gonna look at some more from him, because this is the Scott Benton guy, alright? You're gonna see a lot of his physiognomy in this. This is, again, this Unity News Network. They are ultra pro-reform. He does, however, have a whole bunch of tattoos in Hebrew.
Baal, owner, master, and...
including Baal, yes. Israel, faith, kindness, Messiah of Zion. Yeah.
Sketchy as shit.
It's sketchy as shit. And there's more. There's more to this. Oh my goodness. Here's another picture of him.
We're gonna have to start checking people with tattoos.
Here's another picture of him. I mean, like, come on, bro.
His eyeballs are above his fucking earline, people.
Yeah, that's true.
He's a Hebe.
Whoops.
Jutting bottom lip, Cupid's bow upper lip, eyeballs above the eyeball, above the earline, ears on a cant.
This one, what? Speaking of Reform UK, so Octavian here says, insane communist judge passes crazy verdict that absolves rapists of all responsibility because they're underprivileged, ADHD, low IQ, etc. Huge let's bring it up. Huge outrage ensues. Literally the next day, the government looks into it, intervenes to fix it. Holy fucking based. 10-year Starmer posts the Chad Starmer meme. And then Reform UK liked it?
I wondered is Starmer aware that he's actually being memed by right-wing people as a good PM? I mean,
I refuse to let Keir Starmer be England's Will Stansel. Will Stansel earned his keep, goddammit.
No, he is England's Will Stansel, though. He is absolutely England's Will Stansel. It do be like that.
What shows he got then? The only thing I want him showing is the signs of ass cancer.
Well, what he is doing is showing up to back Burnham in the Makerfield election, absolutely torching his chances. Not by the way that Andy Burnham's got any chance in the first place.
Scroll back up.
Yeah.
Eyeballs, ear line, ear cant.
Starmer says that Labour needed to all pull together and fight in the by-election taking place on the 18th of June. I want to be a part of that. Of course I do, the PM told reporters at a visit to Essex on Thursday. Spokesperson for Burnham says anyone who wants to embrace Andy's campaign message is welcome on the campaign, which is not... That is a very interesting way of phrasing that. The Prime Minister is like, yeah, I want to come show support. It's like, yeah, anybody can come. Anybody can show up. Sorry, to me that sounds a bit like, we welcome all types, even yours. Mr. Starmer.
I mean, that actually is what he's saying.
Yes. Keir's leadership was plunged into crisis last week after dozens of Labour MPs called for him to stand down, and Wes Streeting resigned as health secretary, criticizing the government's drift. It's not, trust me though, although it is very funny that Starmer's showing up to back Andy Burnham in a way that would probably crash and burn any chance he had, which probably wasn't much of one in the first place. He didn't need any help. Release the sausages, no. Indeed. Release this, and I'll show you why Burnham didn't need any help. David here says he's even less likable than Starmer. Let me zoom out a bit. There we go. Okay.
I grew up here. I brought my own family up here. I have lived here for 25
It's a bit quiet. I can't turn it up any higher.
Over there. I love this place.
Luckily it's got subtitles.
People of this place, but what I have inside...
Hang on. Wait until he sways back the other way.
Okay.
Is a burning sense.
Pause.
Yeah.
What is with Indian Nick Cage on the left?
Oh my god! Oh my god, that is Indian Nick Cage.
Close up. Go back to the start and fucking plot.
What the fuck? Oh my god! Oh my god! Dude, what the fuck? Bill! That is Indian Nick Cage.
Also, there's a guy right over the side in the background. Looks like
my bad. I'm retarded. Sorry, guys. Well, good thing we went back to the beginning. Now we can hear it better.
I grew up here.
There we go.
I brought my own.
There's some fucking specimens in this crowd.
I have lived here for 25 years. My home is 2
Look at the
miles
fucking stealth Cyrex in the back.
over there. I love this place. I love the people of this place. But what I have inside is a burning sense of injustice.
A burning sense of chlamydia, probably, but whatever.
Proud communities of this place.
What would he? Who would he have fucking got chlamydia from? A stray dog?
Yeah, or some other homosexual. I don't know.
It's the system.
I'm not calling the stray dog a homosexual. I don't presume so.
Just him.
Just him and his friends, right? Oh, there's a fucking fly up here. Damn it.
Yeah, it was a fly. That's the one that keeps doing like fucking
it's
circles
really
in my head.
It keeps flying around me too. He's got a fucking death wish, little bat. Get off me! It keeps flying.
Why? These people are supposed to be public servants.
Yes.
Their entire gig is to draw the attention of other people to like them. Why do they all have absolutely no fucking personality
charisma whatsoever? No. I mean, he's so fake.
My God, just so
being in power now requires you were bullied at Eton.
Like I said, this guy doesn't need any help to be unelectable.
Here for 25 years. Fuck off.
Indeed.
Anyone with a pair of nuts who was going to these high-ranking schools where all these fucking politicians come from, they are the kingmakers. They are not the politicians on the ground. These are essentially what we see of politicians, and this is a terrifying thing to consider. They are the blue-collar branch of the political caste.
Yeah.
The middle management, the civil service. Like all the little like inner workings of the bureaucracy are the
By the way,
white collar.
Because I was looking at my bookmarks. I'm gonna go back for a moment. Just to be clear, this is Trump saying, "One True Social." Truth Social. Israel will not be bombing Lebanon any longer. They are prohibited from doing so by the USA. Is enough. Enough is enough. Because I didn't have this up earlier. There it is. Trump's own words. Bibi doesn't listen to you. It's the other way around. Anyway, here's this charisma, just pit. Void.
When they should be at the top of the list.
Oh my god, I just realized who he looks like.
Who? Colbert a little bit?
He looks like, no. He looks like,
Excuse me.
Who's the lesbian from MSNBC?
Oh,
Rachel Maddow.
Rachel
It looks
Maddow.
like her brother.
I was going to say he looked like Gary Linehan if Gary Linehan was a lesbian. So it kind of evens out.
Excuse me. Jeez. I couldn't find my
He
mute
does look
in
like
time.
Rachel Maddow's like potential heterosexual lover.
That's true. Oh, also, thank you, Ardent. Thank you for the reminder. Yeah, guys, please, if you have been enjoying the show and the stream, etc., please be sure to leave a like on the stream. And if you have enjoyed it and would like to donate to us in any way that you feel so inclined, that would be fantastic. Thank you, guys. We're gonna wrap up here, probably about 30 minutes, and then get out.
My election is a clarion call for change. Change for people in this part of the
He does it like Rachel Maddow.
place I love so much. Change to the economy.
Say how much you love it again. I don't believe it. Say it again.
Change to education. Change to housing. Change to transport. Change to care. And yes, to make it all possible. Change to politics. I'm in the campaign. I'm fighting to win it.
Oh god, this is the most boring fucking
It's
song
so
speak I've
boring.
ever
It's
heard.
terrible.
The idea
Like
is
I
to just
said.
hit you with so much fucking white noise that your brain just turns to mush.
He's
These
unelectable
are-
is the point.
We are in the era of brain rot policy.
However, Chad Keir Starmer is going to come and make
I
sure
am
it sinks.
sandbagging this at every fucking turn.
Well, this has angered the Dark Lord, okay? Blair, Starmer doing this kind of stuff has turned the eye of the Dark Lord upon him. Blair turns against Starmer, Burnham, and Streety in an attack on incoherent Labour. Tony Blair launched a devastating broadside against Labour government on Wednesday, warning that his own party is playing with fire. You don't want to fuck with him, by the way. And risks relegating Britain to the Premier League of Nations in a blistering, way too many words, published by the Blair Institute for Global Change.
Sorry, if anyone here is not within a position to catch shit about the 5,700 word essay, yours are routinely 8,000 words plus. I don't want to hear it.
That's the new goal I'm aiming for, is about 8,000 to 10,000 words. They used to be closer to 16,000. Yeah.
I have to go through and write jokes for these, whilst also doing some wild fact.
I know. I'm trying to make them. I'm trying to make them faster. I'm trying to make them shorter. The former PM accused.
Welcome to my world.
Former PM accused Labour of suffering from an almost infinite capacity for self-delusion. I mean, that's true. Just under 2 years since Keir Starmer led the party to a landslide victory, forming the first Labour government in 14 years. Intervention comes weeks ahead of a by-election which could see greater... Now, by the way, what Starmer has done is said, no, we're not getting involved. We're not getting involved in the Iran shit. Not getting involved in the Iran shit. Which is based. However, the Labour Party itself is collapsing. The intervention comes weeks ahead of a by-election which could see Greater Manchester Mayor Andy Burnham return to Parliament and potentially challenge Starmer for leadership of the party, which it's Burnham now because Streeting fucked off. He resigned. I mean, it still could be, but he did resign. Burnham on Wednesday hit back forcefully at the former PM, whose government he once served in, accusing him of failing to grasp that inequality is not the central issue of British politics. Blair, who highlighted his 3-time win record, argued that rather than Keir's personality or a failure... or a failure to communicate, the government's main affliction was a total absence of a worked-out, coherent plan for the country. In the essay, he urges Labour to avoid... Look, I'm gonna skip through all the fucking waffle here. The Dark Lord's turned his eye on Keir Starmer. Okay? That is not a good position to be in.
3-time win record.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That is like... I'm trying to think of a good example. That's like fucking Ted Bundy boasting about his dating advice.
Indeed. The Dark Lord's turned his eye on Keir Starmer, on Herr Keir, and the 1,000 Keir Reich. And here's why. According to Tony Blair...
Just pause for a moment. He's probably the most boring person we've ever seen in politics.
Yeah.
And his opponents are so shit. They've actually managed to make him gain some aspect of charisma, which is fucking unreal.
It's not charisma. It's just that... He just is trying to uphold a system that it's being destroyed. Is it charisma in that sense? By just being a robot?
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes.
It's not charisma if it's projective.
I guess it's charisma if all of your opponents are anti-charisma.
He's
maybe.
a white fucking blank ass. I'd say white.
Yeah.
He's a Hebraic fucking canvas upon which you can just broadcast. It's why I fucking hate this meme. People are fucking gaslighting themselves into thinking
It's ironic though. It's ironic, Bill. It's ironic. It's funny because he's doing damage to labor. That's why it's funny.
Nah, fuck it. The road to hell is paved with retardation, and we're fucking hopscotching
Just
down
don't
the
let
path.
it go to your head. As long as you're just enjoying the meme as a meme and understand that
No,
this is
I do not
too
trust
serious.
you motherfuckers out there with that.
Oh.
You will fucking LARP it into existence.
Maybe. Blair says that America is not an important
Imagine
ally.
if he pisses off Tony Blair.
Well, yeah, I mean he apparently has.
That's good.
And this is why. This is why.
I can read everything like he does when I.
Hopefully they kill each other.
Would you like to read this then, Spoon? Because this is why.
When Tony Blair.
Oh,
no, I think more Storm, not Blair.
You could read Blair.
Tony
as
Blair
Stormer.
just pauses like.
Yeah.
He
It's
does this
creepy
thing
as
where
fuck.
he pauses for like a half an hour.
Yeah, it's very creepy.
Like,
It's very
did
off-putting.
you see his resignation speech when he resigned as PM?
Yes. Yes.
He would pause for about 10 seconds just then peer off.
Very
This
fucking
is
creepy.
something
Yes.
that Obama
pausing
does.
for applause.
Yes.
Yes. No, but he would say something like, "I remember for a time."
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And then he would like do that, and
Which weirdly is like the Mosley methodology.
Well, Spoon, do you want to have a crack at it?
In a period.
We live in a period. Okay, America is not an important ally. It is an indispensable part of our security. So when
No,
they...
it fucking isn't.
No.
Well, it is because I believe he was the one who sorted out the sandline thing, which made it that way.
Yes, that's King Blair to you.
Our help,
Yeah, you go ahead, Spoon.
you think
Give me a
long
second
and
to
hard
watch that,
before
please.
you
Cocksuckers like
refuse
this
it.
existing.
Go ahead.
Why would you say no?
Go
Because
ahead,
if they
Spoon.
had, because if they are an indispensable part of our security, we should stand with them if we can. But they're not an indispensable part of your security. That's your fucking idea, you daft git. And that doesn't mean to say joining every action they do. Yes, it is. That is actually what you're implying.
'Cause-
Fuck
yes.
off.
Because they've
Yes, I mean,
Stormer
for
chosen
example-
one not to agree with.
Yes.
Not engaging
Yeah,
in a
exactly.
war of
and then-
choice.
and
One.
Fuck, throwing a bitch fit here. I mean, for example, there we go. One refusal, and you write a 5,700 fucking page reply, you shithead.
Yep,
So you're
yep.
clearly just full of crap. I
Mhm.
mean, for example, I don't think this was ever going to happen. Case in point. If they seriously considered taking Greenland or something, of course you wouldn't have said yes to that.
What?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm confused by that statement as well.
I'm
but
also
this
confused by
is
that.
Action, yeah, but this is in respect of Iran, and we
Yeah,
were
we know.
we were being asked for support, not to be part of the military action. Yes, it is. That is
Yes,
what you're
exactly. And there's been
You're being asked
one
to
no.
use Britain and Spain or whatever as a refueling basis. So
Yes.
yes, that is part of the war effort. What the fucking hell are you talking about?
asking for the United Kingdom to expend money, resources, men to go fight in the United States' and Israel's war of choice. So it is the one time the U.S. is told no, and then Blair comes out and in his massive diatribe says, amongst other things, well, of course you can tell the U.S. no, but you really can't. You really can't. You can't tell the U.S. no. You're going to do anything that they, and more specifically Israel, wants. Let's be clear about that. Now, let's end with some less political stuff, shall we? Let's wind down here, lads, and rejoice that hackers have broken into OnlyFans and stolen 340 million records. Experts are already skeptical about how serious the hack is.
Well,
of course
considering
they are.
OnlyFans is run by the Israelis, I'm not surprised the security is
Indeed.
shit.
Security researchers from Cyber News reported spotting a new ad on a dark web forum offering 340 million records scraped from internal OnlyFans databases. Listing provides exclusive access to an alleged OnlyFans internal database dump containing approximately 350 million user records. Post reads, the dataset encompasses both fan and created accounts, exposing a broad range of personally identifiable information and detailed account activity metrics. So it's not, just to be clear, it's not just the porn that's being released. It's the people who are looking at it. And that's of course, that's the blackmail part of it. You don't want your Ashley Madison or your OnlyFans account where you're gooning to a bunch of bitches. to potentially be released, but it could be false. The post further claims that the archives hold people's usernames, join dates, email addresses, follower counts, like count, picture count, video count, stream count, payment, card information, and linked profiles. Why would you link any social media profile to OnlyFans unless you're a whore? Anyway.
Yeah, that's using it for money purposes.
Yeah. Commenting on the news, a company spokesperson told Cyber News, on background, these reports are false. Oh wow, OnlyFans denied it? Who could see that happening?
If Twitter is to be believed, it was basically everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I know
account details.
I know some people. I know some people are on it not because they do pornography, because they don't really have a lot of. Yeah, because I think they use it oddly for some political content, because believe it or not, OnlyFans is not quite as censorious as other.
Yeah,
other places.
I can't imagine. Yeah, of course it is.
Legit
you can see people's bum holes on there. So of course it's not the censorious. Based
use
on
it for porn. I use it for like harsh, like very like anti-Israel takes. We are not the same.
I know, that is it based. It's still an Israeli-owned company. Based on the sample alone, what? It is.
No. I just saw something that made me go like, "Geez, okay."
Well, I was feeling kind of woke because this fucking fly keeps zipping around me. Based on the sample alone, we cannot confirm the true size of the data. However, the sample does indicate that individuals whose data is exposed could be targets for phishing. Of course it could. And they can just leak that you are an OF simp. How about that? It's as bad as the Ashley Madison shit. You've got your name, they've got your payment information. They can just show to everybody that you're a fucking simp.
In other words, they have 100% got their emails. And phishing attempts means that they've got the emails, which means they're sending shit to try and get hold of them.
And that's what OnlyFans is confirming. 340 million. Into culture stuff as well related to this and horrors. Lupita Nyong'o faces backlash. Yeah, backlash as Black Panther comments resurface. So, Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey is being produced, and they have yes, it is homosexual and gay because they have cast this woman as Helen of Troy, the face that launched 1,000 ships.
But can't swim.
By the way, this is one of the most flattering photos of her I've ever seen. Like,
that's photoshopped to fuck.
Well, her eyes are looking in different directions, and it's still the most flattering photo of her I've ever seen. Look at her eyes; they're going in different directions.
Do I have to?
No. Just if you feel so inclined. Critics now argue that the Oscar winner's earlier emphasis on authenticity conflicts with the recent backlash over her casting as Helen of Troy, turning a casting controversy into a broader debate about consistency and representation. So here's her old quotes about Black Panther. She said, Black Panther helped challenge long-standing misconceptions about Africa, in which case, Black Panther, in which it is a fictional, futuristic version of Africa where a specific country, Wakanda, got a magical space rock that allowed them to advance technologically. And that is apparently a challenging misconceptions about Africa. I mean, I guess. Highlighted the importance of respecting the continent's cultural diversity. That's important to me because I'm all about demystification of the African continent by supporting a film that is mystifying the African continent by giving them magical space asteroid powers. She also emphasized that the filmmakers worked to ground Wakanda's fictional world in real African traditions, languages, and cultures rather than presenting a generalized version of the continent. According to her comments, the production incorporated influences from multiple
people
African
shucking
cultures.
spears and riding on a rhinoceros.
Yes. But the point being, her contention here is that, like, well, yeah, it's homogenized. You're taking a bunch of different influences from different African cultures. But as it applies to the Odyssey and her playing Helen of Troy, well, that's why these old comments are being brought back up. Some social media users argue that if cultural specificity was important when discussing African representation in Black Panther, the same principle should apply to Greek mythology and characters traditionally depicted and who were Greek, right? One viral post that gained significant attention accused Ngoyo of applying different standards, because of course she is. Of course she is. It's one rule for thee, and another rule for whitey. Okay? That's how it always is. Rule for thee, not for whitey. Rule for me and not... Sorry, rule for me and not
Odyssey
for whitey.
Seems to be gearing up to be such a fucking flagrant leftoid fucking nightmare pipe dream that it would make Jodorowsky blush.
She's made it clear that she supports Nolan's interpretation of Homer's classic epic.
Of course, she's going to get a fucking payday out
because
of
she's
it.
getting a payday. She says, "You can't perform beauty. I know who a character
You
is.
evidently can't either.
What is beyond beauty? What is beyond looks? Is she just admitting she's ugly? Even I wouldn't say that, bitch. About you? What about her? Like, I wouldn't even call her ugly necessarily. Like, her eyes are wonky and shit, and she's no Helena Troy. It sounds like she's calling herself ugly here. I don't know how else to interpret that. Our cast is representative of the world, but not of Greece, now is it? Not of Greece in 4,000 years ago now, is it? It's not.
There's a reason why in Rome the crier says,
ridiculous.
No prostitutes, actors, or unclean tradesmen may attend.
Swaziland family robber's son, Linda. Oh my god, that's very good. Swaziland family robber's son. That's very good. Well, turns out Greek people, because we were supposed to listen to when Africans say things, right? But
Excuse me, that's my cue.
Bill, were you able to find those allergy pills I mentioned earlier today? Because no. I am, oh no, being besieged. Anyway, letter to Hollywood and Nolan's Odyssey cast from us Greeks. Letter to Hollywood and Nolan's Odyssey cast from us
There are no Greeks in the Odyssey. None, not one.
No, apparently not. The cast and creative team of Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. We write you as Greeks, not as fragments of antiquity, not as echoes from museum displays, not as characters sealed in marble, but as a living people whose story has never stopped being written. First, we wish you well. They go on. This is a letter from a bunch of Greek people. It's been the Greek people don't like this. They want to be accurately represented in a film about their history. Is anyone in Hollywood going to listen to this? Absolutely fucking not. In other Hollywood news, because I did find this very funny. I have not given a shit about The Boys, but The Boys ended. I liked the comic book.
Okay, I've got a particular gripe with this fucking thing.
Yeah.
The Boys, the whole thing that's doing the rounds here, the whole like I'll suck your dick bit, is stolen.
What's it stolen from?
It's stolen from the end of Mandy. It is
yes,
one-to-one the exact same fucking begging scene.
Yeah. Oh, Roman, Michigan, indeed. Lotus Eaters has more Greeks than this depiction of a Greek tale. Indeed. You got Stelios over there. That is from Mandy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fuck.
The entire so Kripke, you fucking talentless hack. You literally all you've been doing is using the whole series as your personal political mouthpiece. The last 3 seasons, and you literally have just been bloodily stealing content from other people.
So one of the things that Kripke's been doing with the show, now again, I've not watched The Boys, and I would tell
also,
you I am...
hide that fucking Israeli nightmare creature who used to fucking brag on Twitter about raping people.
Yes. Now, the reason I've not watched The Boys is actually the same reason I've not watched Invincible. I've read The Boys comics, I've read the Invincible comics. It's the same reason I also don't watch a lot of Marvel films of adaptations of comic books, because I learned quite a long time ago at this point that they're all shit. They're never going to live up to the comic books in any capacity, and frankly, they make me sad. Kripke was behind the Big Bang Theory. Was he Ardent? No way. Was he the same guy? I mean, that would explain some things. However, yes, The Boys from the beginning has been Eric Kripke's just political soapbox. He has made new character. He invented a totally new character. I have not paid attention to the show for years because, like I said, I noped out because I was like, I'm just not interested because I've read the books. And even though I'm not the biggest fan of The Boys as a series, because it's very gratuitous and not in a way that elevates it artistically, in my opinion, I am a real comic book snob, sorry. Anyway, so I'm not the biggest fan of The Boys, but they added like a new character recently who's the smartest woman on earth who happens to be black and fat, because of course that character does not exist in the comics. So when I saw that this character had been tried out, I'm like,
doesn't exist in the real fucking world.
No, of course not. And so it was like, well, it's a fantasy series, I suppose, but that character doesn't exist in the comics. And so I started to like go back through and learn some more stuff about this. And apparently this series has nothing to do with the bloody comics. It never has. It's never had anything to do. It's been its own shit.
First season was kind of close-ish, but you had to squint pretty hard.
So what
everything swapped around. And
right.
I like to point out that the race swapped A-Train, you know, the serial rapist to be black.
Yes, right, yeah. Bizarre. That kind of shit can only come from someone who hasn't read the comics and doesn't give a shit about the comics. But what he really cares about is his personal political soapboxes, and his personal political soapbox is to use Homelander, who is the villain in many senses of The Boys, into an allegory, by his own words, for Donald Trump. This is not like, some bullshit. This is not a presumption or, supposition. Kripke has directly said that, yeah, Homelander is Trump, essentially. He also he's added a character this recent season that's just Elon Musk. Directly, Elon Musk. So, Elon Musk says this shit's pathetic, and I'll just fucking... Is this the actual clip? I think Kangman posted. No, thank God, it's just the... Homelander is brought to his knees. I'll suck your fucking dick. You want me to eat shit? I'll eat your fucking shit. Pathetic, dragging this character down. This is what Kripke wants to see Trump doing. This is what he thinks Trump is. And Eric Kripke is a weak man. Yes. And Eric Kripke, as a weak man himself, can only imagine how he would act if he were given superpowers and they were taken away. The first thing he would do is say, I'll suck your dick, and then I'll eat your shit. That's because that's his frame of mind. Elon Musk says it's pathetic, because it is. Eric Kripke, oh my OMG, and this is his review of what The Boys did to Homelander. I'll never get a better review ever. This guy.
You'll never get a better review ever. You speak truer than you know.
Indeed, because you're not going to get any work ever after destroying this fucking series. You know who will get more work, though?
Got any work to begin with.
You know who will get more work, though? Harada. So Tekken 8, I wanted to end the Tekken 8 stuff, Bill, because it's so much fun. So, this is a timeline of events. Katsuhiro Harada says that he's finally made it to the Waffle House. The staff are always friendly. When I asked if they would sell him a menu, they sold him one for $5. Next time, he'll be back at 3 a.m. for fight time. Katsuhiro Harada, if you're not aware, is the game designer, developer, runner for Tekken. Now, there's a new, this is actually, we'll get to it in a second. Just after
Bill
posting.
Gets a crumb of content in his fucking podcast.
Very shortly after posting, after making the Waffle House post, you'll see that, I didn't even know this, that the thing he's responding to has since been deleted, has it? Or can I click on it and still find it? He deleted it. But some fool tried to stunt on Harada. And he said...
Why are you saying his name like that?
Harada?
Say Harada like an old person.
Harada. Is that better?
Yeah, because you say the other way, it sounds like Herrera. You don't want to get fucking
Harada. Harada. Is that better? Okay, got it. Oh my god, it's so hard. He says...
Consonants are there for a reason, bitch.
Harada. He says, you're the typical loudmouth loser on the internet. By the way, I'd like you guys, if you can't tell, this has not been translated. He wrote this shit in English. You are the typical loudmouth loser on the internet. You're about 10 years too early to be threatening me, you piece of trash. I'm no longer involved. What was this over again, Bill? Do you remember? What he wasn't involved with anymore? Was it Tekken? No, it wasn't Tekken. What was it?
I think he was... I don't even know what it's about.
It was some other game.
By the time no, it was over Tekken.
Was it?
Harada's not involved in Tekken anymore.
Oh, right. Yes, it was. Yeah, I'm no longer involved. Don't ask me for shit about Tekken. Right. Just sit there watching tournaments while your mommy holds you, you little shit. Right, he's not involved in Tekken. But
check the comments. There might be someone in there who screen capped it.
Did someone screen cap with this douche? What did this guy... Okay, what did he say? Oh, he said, this isn't a joke. This isn't a joke. You better start living like it's your last week, little man. That's who he was responding to.
What was...
I don't know.
What was the point of that, though?
Something to do with... I don't know. Harada felt like stunting on him, and he did.
It might have been... Actually, it might have been after the reveals.
Maybe. Oh, maybe it was after the reveal. And so here's the reveal, which is... we could watch it, but I don't know if we... it might be copyrighted. Which is that... Look, I think...
They're adding Yujiro Hanma.
They're adding Yujiro Hanma from Baki to Tekken.
Next year.
Yes, next year. However, I wanted to bring up the headline here, which is that Tekken 8 sales surpass Pragmata and Battlefield 6 after Baki series Yujiro Hanma. A rapist DLC character is announced.
Put some fucking respect to the name. The
rapist. Sales of Bandai
character who raped a man and didn't become gay.
Sales of Bandai Namco's fighting game Tekken 8 have surpassed the likes of Pragmata and Battlefield 6 on Steam.
To rape Elon Musk and Trump.
Yes,
no bullshit fake fucking games.
No,
like
for real.
versions. Straight up, just there.
This character
and did sexually assault Hillary Clinton.
This character has assaulted Hillary Clinton and raped Elon Musk and Donald Trump, and he is now a character in Tekken, or about to be.
He has verbally or physically or sexually brutalized every single American president since the series has begun.
Yes.
With the exception of Bush, who Bucky actually kidnapped.
What did he do to Obama?
It was just a regular. Every time someone gets elected, they are brought into a meeting with Yujiro to reaffirm the peace pact that Yujiro.
I remember Obama being in Baki, but I don't remember what happened with him.
Not very much.
So it's going to surpass the likes of Pragmata, Battlefield 6, since announcing Yujiro Hanma skyrocketed past successful games like Pragmata and Battlefield 6 on Steam global sales charts after the announcement of Baki series Yujiro Hanma coming into the fighting game as a DLC character, as can be seen in the image below.
They have
Tekken
not
8,
had a Baki
number
game
one. Tekken number 1.
It's not even a good Tekken game.
No, it doesn't matter. Announcement took place during the live Combo Breaker 2026 event, confirming another major crossover addition to Tekken 8. Known throughout the Baki franchise as the strongest creature on Earth, Yujiro Hanma is infamous for overwhelming opponents through sheer physical strength. We got it, though. If you know anything about Baki, this is a great thing.
Also, it's a very bold move to include the character who you stole all the gimmicks from.
Yeah, true.
For the entire Mishima line, and they're just straight up like Hanmas.
Indeed.
The devil gene is from Yujiro.
Oh, you know what? I do have something I want to end on that I didn't think about. I didn't think about this until just a second, because I wanted to end on a positive note, but because it is hot as balls today, there's a video I would very much like to play us out with, which is the bin. How do I best describe it?
Okay, the bloke in a wheelie bin using like a makeshift pool. That man did nothing wrong.
Swim in the bin. Swim in the bin. Swim
in the bin out of there. I will fucking disavow.
No, Bill, it's so good.
It is his wheelie bin.
By the way, it's fake. It's fake. It's fake. You know that, right?
I don't care. Principle of the thing.
Okay, well, it's fake. Okay?
Oh, if only he had a jacuzzi he didn't use. Like
well,
you
I'm
did.
trying to clean out the jacuzzi. We gotta go to fucking B&Q.
It's a fucking jacuzzi. It's not a fucking spoon.
I just want to.
You're not gonna eat off the fucking thing.
What are you saying about spoon? How rude. You saying he's dirty?
God forbid that I suggest that my co-workers have high.
Are you enjoying the weather there?
Okay, whoops, sorry. All right, let's end the very hot evening with one of the. Yes, this is fake. I don't care that it's fake. I'm trying to get the right sizing here for that. That's probably the best.
Could have ended on a high.
Are you enjoying the weather there, mate?
What?
Are you enjoying the weather there?
What are you talking about?
He's got a daiquiri. He's fucking fine.
He's got. I know. He's in his bin. In his lane, moistured. He's got his daiquiri.
I'm not sure how he plans to get out.
Well, again, this is staged, but let's pretend it's not. How he does have a ladder to get in. He does have a ladder to get in, but he doesn't have any way to get out of the bin.
Also, the fact that he's already sunburned on his head means that he was either the setup for the shot took a while, or he just like the millisecond he took the hat off.
It's just gammon, just naturally immediately.
No, I like to think like he's like, no, it's not working, mate. You're gonna have to take the hat off. It's blocking the shade.
He does have his hat
and then
there.
Instantly caught the sun.
Of course he did. Of course he did. Instantly caught the sun.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Am I not allowed?
Yeah, but you're in the bin.
That's the proper response.
Am I not? Yes, it is. He goes on a very libertarian kind of. How hot is it, Aiden? It got up to like 29 today, which multiple by 2, add 30, it was like 88 degrees Fahrenheit.
No, it
yes,
was
but very
35 degrees
in England this week. Was it? That's what I saw on my computer. It was 35. Okay, 35 times 2 is 70 plus. It was 100 degrees here. Yeah. With our insane humidity, which was 88%. So yeah, it's hot.
95.
What?
Trying to stop me doing whatever I want.
I'm not trying to have a fight, mate. I'm just saying you're in the bin.
You rock up to a dude who looks like this and give him shit for his.
The other guy's obviously some kind of brown.
Blatant, yeah. It's like you're brownoid. You're clearly not from
around here, around these parts, yeah.
And you rock with a dude who's
enjoying a cocktail.
Badger,
in his
drinking
bin.
a daiquiri in his wheelie bin, I don't. By the looks of things, I don't think this wheelie bin is actually used for bins. It's far too clean.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very clean bin.
It's probably like a spare one he says.
That he uses just to go. Provided this were real, which it's not, but he would use this just to, to take a dip in the summer.
If I want to have a swim in my own bin,
swim in the bin.
Then I'm entitled to do so.
Mate, I'm just.
Who are you to stop me?
No, I'm not trying to stop.
Who are you to stop me?
I'm not trying to stop him, mate. No, I'm just.
Shut the fuck up, Brown.
Shut up,
Get off the
Brown.
lawn.
Go to the leisure centre,
Keep
mate.
walking. This is a white neighbourhood.
Yeah. It's £2. Yeah, it's.
They go to the leisure centre.
Problem.
There's no problem.
Leisure centre.
I'm just saying you're in the bin.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to enjoy it.
That's right. I'm just saying you are in the bin, which he is.
See, this is the problem. Like the Brown has realised, like, oh, it's going to take him at least 5 minutes to get out of that bin without injury.
Yes.
Because if he just flops forward, he's eating that glass.
Yes, he's trying to wind him up.
This is
presuming this is real, which is not.
It's not, but we're working within the kayfabe, which is
Yes.
Brownoid has noticed a white person doing something
That has left
they
him
can get away
vulnerable.
with mocking because mobility is low.
Yes, and his mobility is low. You can mock him for it. He's not gonna. He's moisturized. He's in his lane. Flourishing.
Trifling, fucking. I'll save the rest for him.
Well, what? It's not a celebration. It's not like a bit.
Celebration.
How is it?
Well, it's a celebration for normal English people like me.
Normal English person.
bit of sly fucking shit talk there.
I know, right? Yeah, I know the video's old as fuck, but it's hot as fuck today, so I'm bringing out the old classic.
But I don't
Bro,
want to.
okay, fucking throw hands with me in my dustbin.
They're hands.
100% this guy has floored someone. Look at that fucking
Yeah.
spray.
Yeah.
You've got to go with all the Muppets in the leisure centre. That's what you want, isn't it?
No. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
This is a man who was not expecting this degree
He's
of
scared
smoke.
now. Yeah, you're getting scared.
No.
This is a man where you say, oh man, he might actually leap out of that
He
and come
might
and leather me.
Yeah.
I'm about to get beaten in the street by a bloke wearing nothing but swimming trunks and flip-flops.
But I didn't. I did.
Laughing Cavalier, it is indeed what the Romans said about the Britons and the rivers and the bogs. Yes, they're the most uncultured people I've ever conquered. Or whatever. However, I think it's based. He's not harming anyone. He's just sitting in his bin, enjoying his cocktail, in his lane, moisturized, flourishing.
Being in your bin with your swimming trunks on, your hat, your daiquiri, that's living life right there.
It is.
They didn't have to spend 200 quid on a fucking jacuzzi they don't use. Yes, I'm still bitter about
It
it.
was more than 200 quid, wasn't it? I think it was.
We got an offer, and then right after we did, the nicer one went on offer.
Well, whatever. I just gotta clean it out.
You're arguing again.
No. I'm just.
Trying to bring me down.
No. I'm not trying to bring you down.
Yes, you are.
I'm not.
Of course you are.
I'm not trying to bring you.
Why don't you come here, first of all say, oi, what are you doing? Like, in my own bin?
It's slowly getting more racially charged as time goes on.
In my own bin, he said.
Own house? Yeah? You've got nothing to say now, have you? You don't come and fight like a man.
No. I'll come out.
At some point, can we
Summons him.
At some point, he lit a cigarette, smoked it, and then went back to argue. Because for 3 frames, a cigarette that was like down to the fucking nub was in his hand, like it's fucking JoJo Part 3. So like shit just keeps appearing. The drink starts changing. Next thing you know,
It's an inflatable jacuzzi Midnight in Exile. That's why it's got to be cleaned. It's an inflatable one. It was more than. And by the way, it's like it was like, I think it was £200, which is like closer to $400. But it was a nice thing that we could just sit in and not.
Oh yeah, it was nice for you. You weren't the one who had to set the fucker up.
Yeah, I know, and it's a pain to set up. That's the only problem with it. But it's so hot. I'm gonna set up the jacuzzi and not even turn it on the heating. Just turn it on so you can sit in it with bubbles, right?
Like, I don't want to fight.
Come out then. Don't just say, I will come out.
All right. I'm coming out.
All right, you're coming out.
Yeah.
So what's your problem? You coming over to fight?
No. I'm not trying to fight.
Why are you filming me?
The man,
I'm not interested.
the man has got the fucking drink in his hand, like you're about to wear it.
Yeah. You don't want to fuck with this guy.
Also,
it looks like a mole.
Note the fucking Trihort, the fucking.
Oh, Triskelion. Yeah, he's got Triskelion on him. Yeah. which adds a lot of verisimilitude to the scene.
I'm checking the knuckles. There's no like EDL stuff, but
no, but he does have a Triskelion.
Yeah, you should be sorry. Off you toddle.
No, come on then.
Come on, if you want to fight.
Looks a bit like an English version of LP.
Your bloody nose down your throat.
Alright, then go on then.
Didn't spill a drop of the drink.
No, he again, professional. Didn't spill a drop of the drink, did he?
This is very. I think you can say Charles Wilson. No, this is Trailer Park Boys. This is
It
distinctly.
is. It is indeed Trailer Park Boys. That's it for us for the evening, friends. I hope you all enjoyed, and we will see you all again next week. But before you go, just real quick, again, check out my Substack, the new article this week. There will be a new video on my channel, I believe, this weekend, so please keep out a look for that. That explains a lot of the Iran stuff in detail with statistics, why it is that the MAGA coalition is dying and those who remain loyal to it and why they do. The psychological reasons, not the financial reasons. That'll all be this week. Anything you have to shill or promote, Spoon?
I don't think so. I will make at least 2 videos before the end of the month. Possibly 3. I'll see how it goes. I've got them both written up, I just need to record them. One of them is about AI.
Okay. Oh, all right.
Yeah, because recently I did I didn't use AI to make the video. I did a script that made me go, it needs work. I don't quite know why. And then the AI gave me a helpful suggestion, at least structure-wise. It didn't really tell me to rewrite much. It did suggest a couple of things to take out, but I went, no, fuck off. I'm keeping that in for my own personal reasons. And then
I've had that experience.
Yeah, and then when I gave it another video that I didn't have anything wrong with, I just wanted to see what the AI would do with it. I did recognize how it writes and how it tries to analyze. So I tried to converse with it to make it see less machine-like and be more human. Because I've noticed, like, for an example, the thing that I said to the AI is, imagine if you're in a car with a group of people and you're the GPS, and the driver says to you, get us from point A to point B. The AI will calculate the fastest route, because that is the assumption that it has of the driver's priority, pace. But what about the scenic route that the passengers want to take?
Yeah.
See, the AI doesn't think about that because their command isn't factored in because it's only looking at the driver.
Right.
And so if it does content from an analytical perspective, it takes into consideration just you and what you wrote. It doesn't take into consideration people that will watch it. And so I thought, okay, it's quite interesting to see how it tries to, because it can only read what you assume, or it only reads what it assumes that you're looking for, not what the audience is looking for.
Yes.
So I tried to explain to it, keep in mind that you're actually trying to consider the perspective of the audience, not just you. Because I realized what it tried to do with the video is it tries to analyze my argument as if the audience is completely neutral.
Yes,
and they're just
you have to
logic.
give AI pretty concise instructions, excuse me,
Yes.
what it is that, who's the audience, what are you trying to convey, otherwise it will homogenize, neuter everything that you say. The only thing I use it for is as a run through on grammar and essentially succinctness. But that's what it's good for. And however, just today, by the way, or was it last night? Last night, I was using ChatGPT. I was like, ChatGPT. I went through it and I said, like, hey, I'm trying to fill out the end of this work, this piece that I'm writing about the wisdom of crowds. Can you find some stuff that might fill in these gaps that I have? I clicked on this paper. I read it. I started reading it for about 10 minutes. Like 10 straight minutes I was reading this paper and I was like, I don't understand anything. It's a bunch of just mathematical calculations. And I was like, I don't understand what this has anything to do with it. It linked me to the wrong paper. So I wasted about 10 minutes of my life that I'll never get back reading some advanced econ paper. Like, which it was all just mathematical formulas, which was fun, to be fair, but I didn't learn anything about the topic I was looking into. Oh well. Anyway.
Yeah, there we go.
That'll be fun to see your AI video, Spoon, though. I look forward to that.
Yeah.
All right,
friends. Because what I try to do with my one is I gave it no commands at all. I just said, take a look at this. I was curious, like, okay, well, what would the AI think if I gave it absolutely no command and it just goes completely neutral? Which probably explains the response, to be honest. But
that would be one. All right, friends. We will see you all next week. Come check out my stream on Sunday with Uzlu on Saint Sybil, and then also probably Saturday. I think I'll have the video out on this on Aiden Paladin. Check out. Be aware of my new Substack article to drop soon, and I'll see you all next week, if not before then.
Cheerio.
Cheers and bye bye.